I'd like to have an answer within the next 2 weeks here, Scott.
All right. Okay, so it was just an explain, it was sent to, for auto, Roger, and
If there's not any other old business, we'll move on to new business.
right.
We need to discuss on new business.
Okay, all right, sounds good, buddy.
Any public comment on, solid waste district? Okay. There's no, anything else to discuss, no public comment, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by PJ.
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
BJ?
Yep.
Tom?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Laura? Bye. That's nice.
Didn't ask me.
Terry?
Are you opposed, Terry? You wanna be opposed? I'm opposed.
I didn't. So you're not, I'm absolutely.
You did oppose. One.
Okay.
Let the record show
Sorry,
all things.
I forgot Terry. Brian,
Usually the-
Terry, Laura?
I'm nobody.
Just not another state.
I'm gonna say yes to say yes.
No. Sorry, I was moving on.
When I started drinking warm water to help me lose weight,
Usually adjournment's just, okay, leave.
I mean, I know that right there.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna write that down. You wanted to keep them on.
Y'all enjoy your day.
See ya.
See you later. Let's just
You wanted to
talk
stay
about
for
it.
longer.
Oh. Oh, dude, Huntington County together, dash I.
That's right. See, spring breaks over now. Ready to roll.
It's still cold out.
See ya.
Not that.
There it is.
No, it's not that way. This way.
Yes.
Honestly, it'll be wet shit. 8.5 years.
Yeah, that's the one.
Digging,
I don't know what they're doing. How they put it in there.
hey, man,
We got half the snow that was normally getting this year. Last year
It's
was
the wrong
ice snow year too.
How do I put the
It
links
really
in?
has.
You should not have,
Last
like,
time
that's
it
the
was-
link right now.
I mean, I drive by it, I drive over it every single
YouTube,
day.
that's what Huntington
The
County
rest
is.
the rest was the best case when they can get it. And it's been downs and downs for
I'm gonna do it right now, so you can help me.
a year.
Because that's what,
Right, but so.
that's what Kevin told me.
Yep, close that one. Let's do it. You too. Close it. That's the right one. Click on that.
We'll get what we need.
And then you have to take it.
See you, see you guys.
See ya.
You click on that one right there, because that's the last one.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not doing it. So it's right there, that's
Maybe a different issue.
Fire department issue, right?
But, yeah, in worst case.
Oh, here it
Okay, nice to meet you. Your phone, I can put my contacts right.
Yeah.
Everything.
Comes with territory.
We'll have your scans in the packet. Is that half? Yeah. They have a.
Does your dad live out east or south or something?
We'll just take a picture of that.
He was born.
His job took him out east.
Okay, I saw on Facebook, Tim shared a memory, a picture that we were looking down on a coast set, so I was wondering. I have an old coworker, Gary Freiberg, I think he's distant related.
He's getting some more trees.
Let's see.
I think it's Phil's.
His dad and my dad were first cousins. Gary still see him?
Yeah, he's with Pearland, he retired a couple years ago.
Yeah, he worked with, no, Steve worked for Fort Wayne Mills. Gary's
Gary
always.
was with Pearland forever.
He's always farmed.
Yeah.
I'll send you my
He
contact.
left Dairyland.
Yeah, he retired, and last I knew, he went to Menards, stock shelves or something too. He's like, I got, his kids are all grown up, and it's like, I got some busy.
Maybe I can use that to my advantage here.
Alright, folks, it's 8:31 actually. Welcome to the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners meeting, March 10th, 2025. First item on the agenda is minutes, claims, and payroll. Minutes, gentlemen.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Wall to approve the minutes as presented, second by Stuffle. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed. Minutes are, motion's carried, thank you. Claims and payroll, gentlemen. What's your pleasure?
Please.
Motion by Commissioner Stuffle to bundle the claims and payroll as presented. Second. Wall. By Commissioner Wall. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. In opposition, motion's carried, thank you. Upper Wabash River Basin Commission. You got the floor, sir.
Come on up.
Tom, I'll let you speak to this.
Welcome. I've been sending emails back and forth to you. I guess you've got some troubles with the secretary or something. We wanted you to come in and tell us kind of what you've been doing with that committee that you guys have and the money that we've been sending you for the grants that you've been going off after. And also, I guess with the secretary, I sent you emails. I wanted to know that our money was secure. Was anything awry with any of that? So go right ahead and tell us what's going on.
Did you get the December response? You looked at the December response.
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions about the banks?
That's why I'm bringing you here. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, I sent you an email again this week.
Correct. You got two commissioners here. Tell us what's going on.
Do you have any questions about what I said?
No, sir.
No, everything's accounted for.
And this is your report for your Upper Wabash Commission?
What?
Tell us what you do.
Oh, is that what you wanted?
Yes, sir.
The Upper Wabash River Basin Commission is a state statute for River Basin Commission. The state has formed 4 river basin commissions. One was 1977, Kankakee. The next 2 are the Maumee and the St. Joe in 1995. And the Upper Wabash River Basin Commission was formed in 2001. All under the state statute, Title 14, Article 30, and we were in Chapter 4. Those are the only 4 river basin commissions formed by the state. They're all different functions. We're the only ones that doesn't get any state funding, and so the funding comes from the 4 counties that were offered the opportunity to form the Upper Wabash River Basin Commission. I've been with the commission since 2010. Kyle's been with it since the beginning. And so the funding comes from the county commissioners and the county SWCDs. It's very limited. We live on a shoestring budget. The only paid employee is the administrative secretary, fiscal officer. And that's a part-time job, maybe 10, 20 hours a month. We meet every 2 months, so our next meeting, our last meeting was the first of, second Wednesday this month. February. Next meeting will be the second Wednesday of April, so every 2 months, we have a meeting. We go over the financial reports, my fiscal officer is responsible for presenting the bank statement and typical ledger, just like any municipality. Since we are a state municipality, we have to follow all the same regulations as you do. And so every 2 months, we have to go through the financial reports and discuss whatever grants we have, where we're going with them. So as far as the purpose of it, I gave you the sheet showing I sent you a handout showing that for every dollar we've gotten from the county commissioners and the SWCDs, we've leveraged around $6 in return to the various landowners, property owners to participate in the grants. It's been a little tough the last couple of years because grants have become very competitive. And so the last grant round we won, it was double the amount that was applied for, was double the amount that our grants have. So we were very lucky with the last year, 2 years we have been locked out. So,
Fast forward to Dick McKeon.
and yes, yeah, Ms. Jensen, who was our last administrative secretary and fiscal officer, she started in December of last year. Started out fine, did well. We meet every 2 months. Problems began to arise. I was a little concerned with her. She's young. She had a couple other part-time jobs with Maumee Watershed Alliance and a local consultant out of Fort Wayne, a water consultant she was contracted to work with. And fall last year, about September, October, she was starting to get a little untimely with her reports to us. And then after our October 30th seminar with Dr. Jacobin, Stephen Jacobin came over and talked about the Grand Lakes watershed. She wasn't responding to any emails or text messages or voicemail messages, and then finally, about a month and a half later, she responded to an email from Kyle and said, I'm resigning effectively immediately, and then within a couple of days, I had her off the bank account, tried to secure it. We secured the website and the Gmail account from her, and without making it public, she had some personal problems and just disrupted her church.
But all money is where it's supposed to be, correct?
Yeah, our checking account was at $13,000. We don't deal with a whole lot of things. The grant, then we started doing this, but the grant usually takes care of itself. There was no money was missing.
Okay. I start seeing emails like this and what had been corresponding back and forth, and that's why I started sending you the email to make sure we was at. So you have 4 counties that pay into this. Are all 4 paying into it at this time?
Yes.
Huntington County did not pay into this for quite some time because the commissioners before us wasn't satisfied, I guess. We jumped on board with the groups. The state was, and the neighbors were basically blaming the groups on their the contamination of Salmon and Reservoir. I think it was about the same time, I believe, is when we started paying into it. We have never paid into it on a yearly basis since you started.
Salmon is not in the upper waters for the basic.
I thought that was part of that grant that.
No, that's a
Through
different
that.
grant. Salmon is a different.
Okay. So
The Salmon River is its own, it's not a river basin. They were operating with a different grant. They're a tributary that comes in
To the lower Saddle.
beyond Huntington County. So the state managed jurisdiction of the Wabash River Basin Commission is everything that's within the Wabash River watershed that's within the 4 county boundaries of Jay, Adams, Wells, and Huntington. So the Salamone extends outside of Huntington. It's the watersheds, not cut number 5, but you got 2, like the Salamone River and the Wabash River. The Salamone goes into the Wabash, but there's a divide somewhere where water goes to the Wabash and water goes to the Salamone. And that's the big one.
So are you confident you have a new secretary hired now to keep your,
Now, this is, we're paying $375 stipend a month. It's not gonna be a competitive job.
sure.
I've had to pick up, secure the documents from Ms. Jensen and then anybody who's done this, file the reports of Gateway, get the year-end reports done, and look at how she did her system, and then I have to figure out how to do it in a way that I make sense.
Mhm.
So that's consumed a lot of time.
Sure.
It's just being what it is, probably within another month, we'll put an ad out, looking for somebody.
Okay.
A lot of times, she was our 4th administrative secretary. The previous 3 were fairly stable and provided transition. This is a completely different. And so we've relied on sometimes word of mouth to find somebody who was available. We'll probably go back on that. I'll probably post something on Indeed again, and like we did before, and see. That's always an adventure because you get people from all over.
We're going through that process on a daily basis,
Yeah.
county government. I wanted to bring it up, and I should have asked Kyle at the meeting last week, is this something that maybe you could subcontract to one of the groups like Cheryl Jarrett, who works for us, that you could subcontract with her to do something like that, that's someone that knows grants and knows how to do the paperwork and is very timely and very efficient, that's already up and running, that can give them an extra few bucks.
That's actually how they started out with Stacia Henderson out of West County, SBCD. We talked to Jared Hahn about Diana Collins over there. Yes, we talked about that probably, we can bring that up at the next meeting. I don't envision somebody being an administrative secretary for the second Wednesday of April. So that's a good idea. We have talked about it. We bring that up.
Is the pay commensurate with the workload? Is the pay equal to the workload that you're asking these people to do?
Yeah, now, I've got to preface that because I've just spent the last couple of months trying to sort through the stuff. And I don't think I would work for the pay.
Well,
I've sorted through it.
That's my question, and.
But I had nobody sitting there going, no, here's where you push this button, here's where you file this. One of the frustrations was username, password, and then verify and change the phone number, and the verification code goes to the previous phone number. And trying to work through all that was more than just 5-10 minutes or an hour.
Sure.
That said, we started out $15 an hour, jumped to $18 an hour, and then we decided to go to a monthly stipend, just so that the person had a monthly budget. They knew they were gonna get this. And we thought, all 4 of them have said, I'm fine with that. Now, again, we're limited what we can offer. Personally, since I started with this organization, and worked my way up, and then they decided to make me chair, I don't know why, but they decided to make me chair, my thought has always been, we need somebody to do something, this is what we do. Full-time job, they pursue the grants, they take care of everything, and that's something of the other 3 river basin commissions, they have. We've been running on a shoestring budget. The people that show up on the commission board really care about the river. We've done pretty good with the grants we've gotten. Done well, but I concur that we need somebody that wants to head this up, and that's their job. They wake up in the morning, that's what they're doing, pursuing it, and we're just, the board members are just the board. You know, we'll guide you, say, here's what we want to do, what's the policy, but you bring us wherefore to get the policy done.
I appreciate.
Now, that said, we talked about this for years, and are you familiar with Doug Ballman is from Adams County? And he got reelected. There was a push, we've been doing this, and he's back, Doug's back on the water to approach Travis Holzman about getting state funding. And so we have submitted that to Travis, Senator Holzman, and called out, made sure Marissa Sweet and Andy Zay and Matt Lehman, all four of those people are the state legislators who represent the Upper Wabash River Basin area. I know we had that requested. At this point, I guess we're in the budget. Whether or not we get it, I'm not sure. So if anything else, we request this, well, okay, yes, $10, we'll give you $1. Good. Sure. But we're hoping to have something like that so that we can just say, rather than we work part-time and just do what we have to get by, okay, here's your objective, go pursue it. Here's your salary for the year.
That was the biggest thing. Those other three commissions have state funding budget to them, and so that's how they could have a full-time administrator. And that's, to answer your question, at the February meeting, do we just get somebody that can work with the Cheryl or whatever and just do the little stuff, and then subcontract out somebody that knows grants and whatever until, you know, if we get on the budget, we're probably not gonna, if it happens, we're not gonna get any money till 26. So we're still gonna have to work through 25, so that was the deal. I wanted to address back to your comment about the DeGroot deal. Huntington County has always gave $1,000 when it originally started. It was a $6,000 or $8,000 budget. Anyway, it was $1,000 from the 4 commissioners and $500 from each SWCD the whole time till just 1 or 2 years ago, when we came back, all the counties, or each one of the representatives came back to commissioners and asked if you could give another $1,000 because of just inflation of stuff, just so we could maintain just a working budget. During that time, there was other, like you said, prior to you three, there was some internal stuff that money was held until we could prove other things, and until we got that straightened out and then commissioners, then now you guys have still, and then knowing how we presented from Huntington SWCD and also with the budget, you know, everything else going on, you agreed to give the extra $1,000. So your question is fair about wanting to know if money was correct, and it was, and that's the untimely email from Deanne really sent everything in a tizzy. But yes, we're in the up and up, but we're literally, like Doug said, it is shoestring, and but the amount of money that either has happened or whatever, it definitely has gotten back. And one of the biggest things, even though it didn't affect Huntington County at the moment, was the lady on 116 or 218 going to at Veracruz. The lady ran off the road into the river and died, and because of it ended up because of us.
She went into the river.
Yeah, she drove into the river, rolled over, and she died. But because we had these grants, the water studies from Ohio to Huntington, and knew the situation, and it had been investigating various serious bad places in the river all along, that was already there. And NDOT said, well, it's kinda on the budget, but it might be the next 10 or 12 years. Because we had the water study and everything and how the river was cutting the bank and it was basically right at the road, we already had the study done and a little push from Matt Lehman and some of the other senators. Magically, within a year and a half, they've bought ground, reassessed, redid the road and did. But then also, it's in segments, so each segment works down. Huntington County in the grant is also a kind of a strange situation because once it hits Markle, it hits the reservoir. We can't do any work through the reservoir, so it's the little river or anything around it. So that's the little caveat when it hits Huntington. And we've tried to even work with the deal in the river here in town, the abandoned tower, power pole that's in the river and some other stuff. So we're trying our best and we do appreciate the.
And we wanna work with you, just wanna make sure that you get a secretary and you get going on, we get the timely reports that we're supposed to be, and we make sure that everything's pretty transparent for the monies that we spend to you guys to make sure it's going where the right spot it's supposed to go to, so.
No, I appreciate being able to share this with you. I'd be able, any county commissioners want to talk to us. To summarize what Kyle said, part of the grants were these functional assessments. And so we were influential somewhat, I think, given State Road 116. But there was a couple of embankments in Jay County and Adams County along roads that were getting approached on that got taken care of because of those studies, part of those grants. And then we also worked at something simple as the abandoned concrete pad for the transmission. I consider it a tower, but that's still, and Lair is, Doug Newsbaum from Lair has been working with us and trying to figure out, I think Dave has talked to you guys about that, but I think that's a little small project, but it'd be nice to have it. Little River has had a functional assessment done, and so they're on the cusp of now where do you want to go with this. So I think one of the things that have emerged recently out of the LEAP project over by Boone County and Boone County is these regional water supply systems studies. Are you familiar with those? And we became aware of that with the LEAP project, and that perked our interest. The commission, they were like, okay, what's going on here? Why do you go to Lafayette to get the water 30, 40 miles? And so we've been pursuing, and that's when we learned that this has been going on since 2017. The state mandated some kind of regional water supply study. This was done by both the state Senate and the House, passed the bill requiring the IFA, the Indiana Finance Authority, to do these studies. And the LEAD project caught everybody's attention. And then they expanded that study from just the north central part of Indiana around the Boone County area to the headwaters. That caught our attention because, okay, what these regional water studies are based on are hydraulic unit districts, basically watersheds, and the state's divided up into 10 of these. And we are up at the east end of the upper Wabash. The other, the west end is just go down river to Wabash, Cass, and Miami counties. And what the intent, we had talked with Jim Goff, he came up to talk to our group, and what I learned from him was that these studies are the foundation to create regional water supply systems, to take care of economic growth, to take care of communities that are struggling. I think you're all familiar with this. I know we've got a small rural area here in northeast Indiana, but all small communities are struggling with water infrastructure, sanitary infrastructure. And so, but if you have a regional water supply system, the state is envisioning that can help resolve this. Well, they're looking at, you look at the study, it's all about water in, water out. What's the quantity, how can you enhance it, Huntington Reservoir is being looked at. There's 3 major flood control dams on the upper Wabash here. Salvin, it's Huntington. And those are being looked at as future water supply storage facilities. So part of, I think, the having the Upper Wabash River Basin Commission in place is we already looking at this as a watershed. It's not what's Huntington County, it's Wells County, it's Adams County, it's Jay County. So that, and it's my belief that the regional water supply systems are going to become reality. It may not be for a year or 2 or 10 years, but they're laying the foundation for it. They've done 5 studies, they've got 5 more to do. They're already working on the one in the central part of the state, just south of the county, Lebanon area. And we, as an Upper Wabash River Basin Commission, provide an agency, a group of people that have the oversight as to this is a complete watershed, rather than what's good for Huntington, what's good for Wells.
So, our Huntington County Economic Development arm of industrial development, they commissioned their own water study and also sanitary sewer capacities for Huntington County based off of what was going on with Boone County. Because what happened in Boone County could very easily have happened in Huntington County. Indiana Economic Development Corporation could very easily come in and buy 1,000 acres on Interstate 69 for what?
1,000 acres.
I think it was above 50,000 an acre.
Yes, it
but
was.
still, and they told no one, the mayor or the commissioners in Boone County knew about that. But now we have a study through economic development, they're looking at electrical, water, sewage capacities and that, so we know what we have here. We're not gonna rely on the state to tell us what our water capacities are, because they wanna come in and suck us dry if they put someone next door to us too. But you can get that study. I think Dave Hacker maybe had got that study from Mark Wickersham where he could share with you guys too. But I guess the thing is we see these guys every once in a while. The only reason why you're here is because of the emails from your past secretary. If there's anything we can do to help you, maybe, if you can subcontract with Cheryl Jarrett, if you need someone else to do grants, we had a grant writer through Huntington County that maybe she could subcontract with you guys, but I don't think she works for that amount of money, but still, and if that comes to the case, you may have to get with all 4 of us counties and see if we up the ante a little bit, because of the things that you're doing for us. Okay?
No, yeah, and a comment with the Indiana Economic Development Commission, Matt Lehman, in that meeting we had with Matt, said, no, they can't come in and just undermine you, they're gonna have to cut, because Doug Baldwin was saying the same thing you did, asking Matt the same thing, is that they will have to contact local, and they may, there's a lot of things done behind closed doors, but.
It was all behind closed doors, and
Well,
like Matt a lot, but I'm just telling you, IEDC came in and did what they wanted, and then they come in and told everyone what was going on, announced a big announcement, and they all had a handshake with the governor. And guess what? We don't have enough water capacity. We're gonna have to go maybe over to Tipton and get the water from them, so, yeah.
They did not do their homework.
Sure.
Yeah, I concur with that.
We're just trying to get informed and try to help to be another liaison.
Gotcha.
So we're trying to be proactive and find out more about it. We don't wanna be recoiled, well, you commissioned here, why didn't you know anything about it?
Gotcha.
So that's what we're trying to do.
So from here on out, just keep the emails coming. Surely you got my cell phone number, because I put it on the emails. Give us a call, tell us what's going on, tell us how it's going, trying to find a secretary. If there's anything we can help to do. Cheryl is a county employee, but she is supervised by the board that's out there that take care of her. Her HR's here, that, if it is a fact that your group maybe could subcontract with Cheryl or maybe that group, and then they can maybe increase her pay a little bit or something, it can all be worked out.
Okay, yeah.
Because you guys need help, and I'm gonna guarantee you, if you're waiting on the state to give you money this year,
No,
I don't think I would do it, because they're cutting, not giving, so, okay.
The balls are in the air, we'll see what.
Oh, okay.
A little side note about something to be aware of. The Indiana Economic Development Commission paying $50,000 to $90,000 an acre for farmland with $10,000 an acre. I didn't realize this until Les Zimmerman said something to me. Les is with the Indiana Association of Soil and Water District. These farmers with this flush with this money don't want to pay that capital gains tax.
Mm-hmm,
So you go buy more farmland.
mm-hmm.
And you show up in the surrounding counties And these counties who are used to stable prices down here, all of a sudden,
I can give you a name of two of my good friends in Montgomery County that seen someone come in and spend $45,000 an acre for farm ground, where they all want to stay in that maybe $15,000 to $17,000, because if they spend it or lose it, capital gains is part of it, so.
yeah, that was something nobody thought.
Yeah.
And
Just because IEDC had a blank check given to them by the state legislature to go do whatever they want, and hopefully they can get them under control this year, so.
Yeah, I have farmland. I
That's
know-
another hour conversation with me on that.
Yeah, I understand what 1031s are, and those were being pursued
Gotcha.
heavy.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Kyle.
Are you planting today, Kyle?
If, everybody wanna know if Kyle was getting the planter out this week, I said if I get the planter out this week, Union Township will have a heart attack.
I heard Bess was running theirs around the block just to tease you guys.
Well, that's the whole point there.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Health Department hotel ordinance. Alicia, how are you?
I'll go ahead and give you guys this copy.
I've read through it.
Okay,
I'm good with it.
so Andy did get a chance to look through it, he tightened up my definitions a little bit more, and, we've got Airbnbs and Vrbo's and all that covered underneath there, and pretty much everything else is the same as it was.
This will be
Yeah,
effective.
this is the new one, so.
Right, it'll be effective
we'll
when,
get it
Andy, if we can vote on this today.
You can waive the second reading since you're all here, if you have unanimous consent to waive the second reading.
So vote on it first, then waive the second reading and the second vote.
You, just in your vote, waive the second reading.
Need a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the new public health ordinance for the hotels. That'd be ordinance number 2025 dash.
What's the ordinance number, Bridget, please?
Sorry about that, I should have warned you.
I should have emailed her last week too.
I can bring you.
It's on my phone.
2025-02.
Two.
Ordinance number 2025.
And then my motion, I'd like to waive the second reading of this ordinance.
Okay, motion on the floor by Commissioner Wall, second by Stoffel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed. Motion's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It's on the very last page.
What Dr. Flicker have to say anything?
No, he was just coming in to check on all this here, so. He's gotta go do that whole doctor's work thing that I think he pretends
Pay the
to do.
bills, yeah.
I like to get on. I thought they were supposed to have this whole project.
Thank you guys too.
Someone not used to this.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Start on this next week, or?
Thank you.
Excuse me. Just gotta get.
Boss Jeffers, Thomas Fuller, amen.
Hey, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
I don't have it in my pocket.
I have Thomas start off with a grant proposal.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'd like to present this grant procedure form for a new grant we're going for this year. It's the 2025 AARP Community Challenge Flagship Grant. That's through the American Association of Retired Peak Persons. So the number $4,603. The purpose of this grant will be to expand our box fan giveaway this year to 200 box fans. We also decided to add 200 weather radios to that mix if we get this grant. We would partner with the Indian Friendly Care Center again downtown. We're going to be targeting the underserved population in Huntington County, so that's anyone over 55 years old. People might have special needs that may need to have access to this device. And they must live in Huntington County to receive this, and they have to verify it also, just like we did last year.
Covered it, just presume with the signature page, the grants attached, and make copies for the author and Bridget.
We have not made that motion.
Well, makes a motion to apply for this grant.
Motion by Commissioner Wall, second by Commissioner Stoffel. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion
And then we also wanted to give an update on some other things, so if that's okay. We're also doing a radio giveaway each day this week. It is Silver Brother Week, so we're gonna kind of do that. So we're doing Sunday. We did starting yesterday until this Saturday. We're giving away one weather radio each day, and then we're gonna be posting a topic about severe weather each day, just kind of cover that. And then we are gonna be helping with the tornado drill at Veteran Knoll tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with Phil. We're gonna go over that and make sure everyone there at that facility kind of understands what they need to do if there is a tornado warning at that facility. And how we can be prepared the most we can at that facility, since we do have critical services at that facility.
The safest places in the county right there.
I would say so because of the basement, yeah.
And lastly but not least, EMA's been working with LAPC to conduct the tabletop exercise next Wednesday, Tuesday, March 18th at the Huntington Library, 9:30 to noon. So everybody's invited, LAPC will be there.
I'm in Lafayette next week for high school.
Okay.
So it's only, I thought Rob was gonna try to make up there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yep, just want to make you aware, kind of remind you.
We got the calendar invite, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna send that one out today.
Alright,
Don't be offended. That's all we have. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
How do you apply for the weather radio?
Good question.
How do you want it?
So for this year, so it was an idea we got from Lowe's County EMA, the new director over there. And all what we did was kind of copy the same thing for how they did it, and that was gonna be the first comment, be weather ready.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, the first comment. I think if we do this next year, we'll change it up a little bit and we'll just pull everyone together in one and then have like a spin wheel online. That way you can have a better chance of winning, so.
Cool.
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
So we got a minute here, letter from NDOT to the, Kent Abernathy, the NDOT Commissioner, and Governor Mike Braun. Huntington County's received $1.477 million towards community crossings. Our match on that is, right at $500,000. So we're gonna put this money to good use. This is,
Just want a copy of the whole thing.
this is great news for Huntington County. We've been able to secure $1 million the last 4 or 5 years. Like I said earlier, they have increased the amount because the cost of construction going up exponentially the last few years. So we're gonna have a couple $1 million to spend on our roads for Huntington County this next year. So good news for us. Bridget, do you have any force while we're waiting for the next item on the agenda?
I do.
We have an unofficial detour. NDOT will be working on State Road 3 and a bridge over the Wabash River. And because of the
Official detour will bring them like half a mile into Huntington County. We had to come up with an unofficial detour as well. So, we just, went ahead and did,
an unofficial detour,
just that half a mile over there, so.
Yeah. Detour consented, second. All in favor say aye.
Right before you get to.
Opposed, same sign. No opposition, motion carried.
I said half a mile. Reservoirs there, so I don't know how you should have to do 200 each down there. But I don't.
You can say if I see what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have one more thing. This is the revised amount that you guys went over last week.
and like that.
Where's that? Whatever we got.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Got to figure it out.
Just basically something about
Here's your budget.
this is what I sent them.
Yes, exactly.
Today.
You guys sent them.
We're gonna kind of crowd the ring here just a little bit. We have a presentation to make, if you guys don't mind. Squeeze back here. Then we're gonna go out in the hallway.
Oh, sorry guys.
Standing room only, sorry about that.
Oh.
Oh, go wherever you want. We can move these guys back. We're good.
You're good?
We're good.
Don't do that. Yeah. So folks, we're here today to honor one of Huntington's finest citizens here. This is in memory of Richard Dick Moriarty, whose unwavering kindness, generosity, and dedication to the people of Huntington County left a lasting impact on our community. Dick was a friend to all, a pillar of compassion and shining example of what it means to serve others selflessly. Presented by Huntington County Commissioners Rob Miller, Terry Stuffel, and Tom Wall, March 10th, 2025. I see a lot of people here that, from Kroger, Bob's IGA, Dick had a lot of friends in this community. Great man. I'm gonna let Commissioner Stuffel talk about Dick a little bit because he actually worked with Dick for all these years. So, Ardell, this is plaque we're gonna post, and we also have something for you also.
So we didn't know if maybe if you wanted to see if that could be displayed out at Ace, it's right out there, Ace Hardware with the Honeywell. And then if you want me to go with you, this is for you to take to the house, so you have this in memory of today. But I think the most appropriate place I could think of this being displayed would probably be Ace, because that's part of the, yeah, and I know the Smiths would just love that.
Would you turn that around and show that to us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I tell you, Dick was often referred to as a glue that held the family together out there at the store. Dave and I, still to this day, I call him the best man, he calls me the best man. I can tell you, I literally can tell you hundreds and hundreds of funny stories, and some of them can't tell you. Cannot tell you some of the stuff that we did, so.
I can.
But, yeah, we get called out on that. But Dick often said things like, we don't need a boss because we all work together. I mean, he was the boss, but he never wanted to be called a boss. We all work together, we get the job done, and then we'll all end up at the mega or something like that. You know? So, he'd say things like, we got the cheapest prices in Huntington, the only thing you have to sell is friendliness, and by God, we're gonna do it. So, that was just Dick. Dick was a father to a lot of us out there. I can tell you hundreds of instances where somebody in the community, a little less fortunate, would come, and where would they go to? They'd go to Dick. Dick would help, and he wouldn't ask, he wouldn't waver. He'd dig into his wallet deep and pass money out, knowing that it may or may not come back. But that was just Dick. Dick didn't ask a lot of questions, and if somebody needed something, Dick was the go-to guy. So he was there for all of us. Each of us have stories to tell, and he was just an inspiration. It seemed like Dick never had bad days. We all had bad days and come in and we were down or whatever, and Dick, well, what's up, son? What's up, son? Talk to me. And that was just Dick. So that little red face of his would just take you over to a corner and he'd cheer you up. So, but he never, all of those dark days, and he never had one of them. He did, but he just didn't let anybody know about it. So Dick was, he just didn't know a stranger. And if one approached, it went long, that was just debunked. So it was a privilege, a real privilege to work with Dick and everybody there. So again, he was like the glue that held everything together. So he just was. So he was the go-to guy. He was the fixer. We could give him a lot of titles, but we're all a lot better off here in Huntington because of Richard Morarity. So again, for Ardella, it's one more time.
Get this whole group to go out in the rotunda and get a nice picture. That'd be awesome. Thanks everyone for coming.
Dave, you are the best man.
All right, Tammy.
Man among men.
She's mine to watch her.
Very nice work.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah. Get over here. Come over here. Our honor.
Oh, in it? Oh, I don't know. No, you did. I
What do you think, guys? Got you back in the corner now. Yeah.
Nice honor.
Good, how are you?
Good.
See you, Don. See you, Bob. Is that about good enough for you there? Yeah. Okay.
Right, yeah.
You take care. Hey, Thomas. Guess what time on Facebook you can post that? I was a half hour late over the weekend still. I'll be up by then.
I'll be changing it up.
So is that tomorrow, 7 tomorrow?
Maybe.
Sit over here with the 18. Trying to get inside suit.
No.
I should have repossessed myself.
I can give you a chef that would.
What's that? We were holding this seat for you. Stand up and come right here.
Hey, how you doing? Nice seeing you.
Oh, there we go. Go right ahead, I don't care. It's still a seat. Who's on the screen? I'm sure you guys think to talk to us.
So do you think that's the reason, because it's overly busy, or is it like system?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, we got one side.
First you seem to go slow, and then all of a sudden.
I thought he responded last week. He said he had, I think Blake responded something about, he sent back a proposal.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, last week.
Ready for spring, this is, I call it full spring.
Three trucks have got
It's nice inside, it's nasty.
Someone sent a truck or a truck. Electronics. Don't say that after last meeting. No, we're sabotaging together. Were you here when that happened? Yeah. I sit right here watching the whole thing.
I looked away.
Travel was nice last night, wasn't it?
Right, she'll come around.
The audacity.
Everybody's gonna look, I think so, like, I would just assume they stay on one or the other. That's how they try to talk back. They're trying something different. I don't mind talking back and forth and stuff. getting all the different clocks figured out. My stove and my microwave are made by the same people, different ways to change them. Buttons do different things in the microwave and stove. And the cars are different.
My truck does it automatically.
My truck doesn't, but it was,
They call in.
usually wait a couple days before I decide I wanna mess with it, because I just don't wanna do it. And then, yesterday, I'm like, well, that wasn't so bad.
Doesn't every year get soft, and you can feel it freeze off.
That's when verses decide they want to haul train.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. That's what everybody else will do.
Change the time? Talking about changing the time?
Right.
I leave one clock in my house, which I manually set at the old time, at least for 2 days. To get a feeling, okay, I'm comfortable with it now.
All a bunch out here.
Because otherwise, everything's done automatically.
You gotta rationalize it for a couple days and say, okay, wait a minute. My body feels off, because it's really, it's really only 8:50 right now.
Twice that hour makes a difference.
I was on that former pending door, so 218, south of 218, I went around 24. We come across, I don't think turns over, because we turn
We're having some other conversations that are in our favor, we don't want to lose that share. So, I understand, like, because I can't share everything. We're the best spot.
What's going on?
I'm ready to be an agitator. I don't feel like they're playing nice, and I don't want to do that, but it's gonna fall in my favor. So, okay, I'm not trusting. I'm trusting politicians and used car salesmen.
They're everywhere, they're blowing up.
I'm not sure who the gullible one is here, but I don't want to be played. I'm gonna trust Bob.
Okay.
I used to work for Bob's, one of his uncles was married to this gal that I used to handyman work for. She said we could trust her. I was concerned about car sales. Yeah, he's car sales.
He's been in the fight with us this long.
Picture taking skills adequate? Oh my gosh.
Well, the bigger the project is, the more consequential it is, the less you want to delegate.
Okay.
And, you want to stay involved.
Thank you. So, these are coming in around, we're gonna go Friday.
Right, right.
So this guy is
Troublemaker.
I've been with Jill, so she is.
You didn't know how much we warmed up the room until they opened the door.
and this is Jill.
She's.
Oh my God, one of me.
She gave me the other.
Right, meeting.
Thank you, Andy.
Every time you girls hit you, it's always on film.
That's right, you're up so much.
Makes sense, technically makes sense. You're not saying if you're gonna end up in prison.
Take it off county property.
I didn't even realize I had it until just way after that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you can't. I'm
This is
just
the
trying to
new-
hurt you.
Just watching the two dogs that
We still have it going on. So it's like, we need to do it, we can do that.
That piece of
But,
the frame was all separated, everything was separated. And, it wore me out enough.
Did you track down your measure?
I can't track down, she did it, because if you quit, I can
In the United States Police Cyber Team was looking at it.
get it out. He got that.
So the last one?
Yes. That's last I heard.
I would imagine you can't find that person.
Yeah.
The reason I'm not on the cyber team.
Didn't they tell you this? Back last fall, summer, when they had the Andrews, donated a piece of plywood to Sister Shelley.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a sign on it.
If people don't sit back and think, they should be thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was, I'm just letting you know, I ended up with that piece of plywood, so. God, if you want, if not, I'm staying going through it.
All process joints, red dye, yellow dye.
Okay. Okay, put my confidence, okay. There you go.
Right.
Okay, I got rid of it. I'll hang on to it.
Marking his territory.
Actually, I used to.
We got it squared away.
My brother passed away a couple of weeks ago,
What do
and
you think about this?
he was a collector of everything.
That's the next day.
That's what his daughter said. Well, not quite that way, but they say a little more aggressively. But he had several boxes that had Huntington on it. Memorabilia is what it was. So I volunteer at the museum, historical museum, so I'll take it down to them for them to look at. So I'm in the process of doing that. But in the meantime, I got all the boxes from my brother.
How much is that?
I made a table with your piece of paper.
I know. He's giving
I
me
wanna,
limited.
I wanna see where that's in the dog.
He needs a
Have we paid good things in the pocket?
He does what I say. I think I can get rid of the word this. I don't know. I don't like
After you
it.
saw what my two nieces are going through, I'm gonna downsize. It's like, stop collecting. I don't collect a lot of stuff. I just collect antique, electric trays from the 40s and the
I
40s.
get him a little shot.
50s plus or minus the year, so.
I know, like, my wife's
That's all I've got.
Get a size appropriate one.
Two of them, one graduation, you're adding to, but.
Not hate, but like, there's issues with this, like, they've never had a they don't share property, they figured out whether
Yeah.
shop there.
It's a little much, David.
Worries me that.
Oh, okay.
Tell you that, how Otis learns.
Yeah, that's
Before you
what
put it on
happened.
road, you can have it like.
Well, Texas are returning, it just never gets done.
Yeah. and
He learned it, and some
Birthday cake.
Yeah.
You have to spend money on something, but you don't care.
It's about, I didn't say spank it, I said maybe time out his cage or something.
TV
broadcast.
TV is
Keep my
broadcast.
disgrace.
We have one, he didn't like it.
You feel empowered. But isn't it great?
We have a doggy door, and his best friend
Someone's
lives
gonna
next
break in
door.
my house and steal my things.
And Ken thinks he's a big dog.
My girls will be happy about that.
And maybe my friend goes down. So,
So little.
he is so little, and he comes charging up there. And they run back and forth along the fence all day long. He passed out last night, oh my gosh, he was so tired.
Guys went to DC.
Yeah, his-
Was it Samson?
Do we need this?
Dawson?
Oh,
He's
they're,
got
white guy or?
They said he's in the
Vegas.
Oh, it's
Good.
Oh,
The weather nice.
No, not really.
I like.
You know, it was, one day it was
Just get rid of that.
65,
They bounce around, their kids, their siblings, or half siblings are getting taken away.
We didn't have to go to Washington DC to bring that.
It felt good to be outside.
It wasn't too much.
Better than here.
I had a cold like going out there, and so I ended up going to Park MGM Casino because it's smoke free.
Yeah. It looks really
I couldn't
clear.
handle it.
And all that.
Well, you know, we got there Saturday night, we had plus Kevin Hart.
Oh, did you?
We were waiting for our luggage, I'm like,
That's, yeah.
let's go
So they
eat.
donated stuff.
And then, you know, we're late, and so the next morning, I'm 8:30 in the morning, up early, time change.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there seeing like smoke like going by my face, like I could not take this anymore in the morning. So I ended up walking over, doing top golf.
Jeffrey Epstein air freshener was found in the
Who's
flood
the top dog?
of the sidewalk where he was shot.
It's pretty close to MGM.
Okay.
It's like there's signs in MGM, like it's affiliated with MGM, but I bet it's a half mile walk.
I was gonna say,
By the time you get, yeah.
it's a long way.
I know. Like I'm following the signs inside MGM, like top golf, top golf. I gotta walk the half mile. I guess I'm still in MGM.
And that's, historically, that's what's happened is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my two sisters were just down there, actually, my job, they saw me
Got a car wreck.
playing Saturday night, and then they did a kayak
What else we
down
got
at
a
the
decay of,
which some of the
a
pictures
church.
were pretty,
Now it's,
so,
There was nothing planned to sphere over there.
Oh, yeah.
really.
Yeah. I knew the Eagles were coming right after you left.
Oh, yeah, because we're top,
And
they
did you see
were
the-
great, like, they're.
I've not been in, I've seen it, but not seen the show. Some of the videos,
If someone thought they could make money doing it, they would do it.
Dan's coming back in May.
oh, really? Yeah, what's left of it? What's left of it?
Yeah.
We're in your bubble.
Well,
No, you're fine.
It's like the Eagles. You only got half of it, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, I think when we were out there, the Eagles were sold out, but it was, I don't know, like $6 a ticket. So it's
Interesting, when you
they're
start
making
buying
more
some of
money
the
now.
stuff together on the left.
Dan company's like, this is our last show.
It'd be like
Yeah,
some of
maybe
these
not,
guys who are
maybe not a lot of money.
Why would
in their twenties,
Why would you quit?
like the guy that tried to kill Trump and how they could be manipulated.
I wanna see.
It
I know.
can be there all weekend.
So they're emotionally distressed and want to see change and get them all riled up.
I don't know how it was hilarious. It was that scene where Ross and it was like a breakfast person. Yeah. And everything that she got.
New sidewalks, new roads, but haven't deteriorated street, you gotta redo
That's
everything.
computer go.
Which is good.
Rifles in our pickup trucks.
Go back.
I forget what year it was, but Chevy had an outdoorsman package with every truck that had a Winchester, automatic full rifle.
Yeah. Cause one of my
He
kids
didn't like
from
the sound.
Huntington, so like, yeah, like one of my concerns is like, you're trying to like, and it looks like we're feeding every building. Like, they look like going next to things. We
I
have
wish
all,
Brent.
like, and it's like, like, I like towns, like, the whole towns.
That would be amazing.
Reserve side, you know, I don't like, I already think I've done it right, like, there's it wins, like, the other.
I was not able to prep Friday.
You know when my birthday is?
Tom.
Day.
Pretty easy to do it. Super guy. One of my mentors.
I got meetings all day.
It's 7 hours.
I think that's good. To go slap on it, flat on it, though, they just.
Where do we go for dinner?
What's that?
Where do we go for dinner?
I did say that wrong.
Always a good guy. Always good.
We just got rid of the bottom here.
Yeah, some of these kids,
I mean, like, I know, sorry about that. I had kids up all night. I had kids up all night. I was gonna text you back at 3 in the morning, but I figured not. Hey Rob, how are you? Doing good. Likewise.
Are you doing anything special for your birthday?
I got meetings till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight.
Where are you?
Happy birthday.
Do you book your own schedule or is it?
These are all meetings. One's, town council, drive back to around noon, I gotta be back in the car by about 2:30 to get the tour bus going.
Go ahead.
That's just cute though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been my choice. Where is the taste?
Or town tour bus.
Oh, okay.
Who does
Yeah.
there's one like, yeah.
Yes, DLC tax.
The DLC stuff?
I'm just saying, like, how much to take people's well.
So that means you're stuck with everyone up there too already?
No, it's not Casey there, it's Holland.
Okay, it's all in order, yep.
Casey and Lakewood.
Yeah, you can. That's where I first met you, was also Lakewood.
Oh my God. I was looking at my phone, I meant to catch you, I wasn't halfway thinking, like, I apologize.
I wouldn't ignore you because I thought you were trying to get me there.
Somebody else me and stuff, so.
your choice now.
Yeah.
Just don't scoot back here though.
Hey, we've been saving a seat for you here.
Yes, yeah.
I never seen it.
You are.
You did, so you're good at this?
You want to send one like
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Like that one it is?
Someone else on there. I sent it on the spot,
Yeah, they.
Jill was ready. She knew I was here, that's why.
No.
Kids with money and everything. So, one was going, the other one. One kid decided to end the
Wow, that's amazing.
condo.
How we doing, kid?
After.
Speak, ready? Speak loud. Revved up. Good.
But now, girls are always.
How was the trade show, Tom?
It was great. No snow. Last 4 years in a row I've been there, they've had 4 inches
Did
of
you
snow.
know that was?
What town was that?
Lansing.
Okay.
The big deal was,
That's why
a lot of the actors and they had 3 of us.
Right there.
The guy that was called Gator,
Yeah.
they was all there.
Did you see them?
They was right across from me. So Friday, it wasn't like real busy, it was like really.
I see Liza.
It was kind of nuts, but so if they'd advertised that, I guess it would have been.
This 69 still a mess when you get into Michigan.
Oh, it's a funky road.
I say, it's always under construction, but it's terrible.
And in Lansing, they got
100 miles of town.
intersection shut down and stuff.
Yeah, been a couple of years since I was up there.
No, it was a good show, still the economy strong.
I don't want it.
Give it to
It's gonna be a good week to play outside.
Cherry.
Mom and Dad, there's a lot of money for kids who've been watching these kids sell.
I have a lot of customers that get into, they'll have a $40,000 trailer, like $10,000 bid. I got a lot better ideas I can do.
It's all from Little John and Susie.
John is like, I mean, I was 10 years her age, I
Yes, I did.
love parents, it's like going parents to basketball games.
Yeah, little
She's such a thing, you know,
she's over there just looking pretty.
yeah, she's having fun, and the parents are out there screaming at the refs.
Saturday, Friday, 71.
So the rumor of you retiring is false, false news or we did? Who's writing for it?
Yeah.
You're not being transparent with our news agency, what's going on? I've never spit on you, I've never harassed you. And if I have a problem with it, I just come to you, so. Yeah. There were times I wanted to comment and start, but I didn't do it, but yeah.
But it's still straight out.
Political opportunity. Here, be mad at me, don't be mad at my family and my kids.
They go up there. I think we've got maybe some more now, I don't know.
No, I've seen your posts.
Yeah, I'll take it to it back.
I didn't know you spit on it here. I know both the players that supposedly you mentioned there.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
I think we still in the same. Yeah.
With that signature, it's good to go then.
That's assault, right now.
Oh, they were, I think they left.
Yeah, they left.
Yeah.
It's Bob Jones. And,
I think that's one slide.
I've been looking at it yesterday.
Oh, God, Eric. Okay. Are you sitting here?
Oh, I know.
So how are we streaming us now? Just a YouTube?
Utilities?
I was there. I was there. I know, you just left. It's in the after Christmas, I was stuck at first.
Not really.
How you doing, young man?
Good. Yeah. I've been there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's been a long day ahead of me.
We need a contract. I've signed it, we just need a motion.
Chair Busco.
All right, folks, we're gonna start back up here, grab the head real quick. Ed, just got one little announcement, we're gonna turn you loose. So real quick, just wanna let everybody know that we, hired, somebody to take Bridget Burkhart's place as our office manager. Obviously, we know we can't replace Bridget, but, this young lady's got some really great credentials, and her name is Gretchen Linfesti. Did I mess up your last name?
No, that was correct.
Okay, so Gretchen obviously has a degree in accounting, a lot of numbers to work with, a lot of financial pieces to this job. So welcome aboard, Gretchen, you know, so.
Common spelling. Yeah.
I don't think he wants to.
I can't, or could you?
So
Yeah.
Gretchen, I'll let you do that, that's your name.
Spell
your first name too, please.
GRETCHEN, and then LENFESTEY.
She does have a banking background, and so we're really pleased that, like I said, a lot of numbers to work with in this office. Very important that we're balanced budget, so, our expectations are that she's gonna handle that easily, and she's got not a steep learning curve, but she obviously has a learning curve here, so we're just gonna be a good mentor for her, so welcome aboard.
Where's your degree from?
Purdue.
All right, pull her up. Good deal.
Okay.
That's a little brighter.
Yeah, they are.
You see Indiana beat Ohio State, did anybody see that? Yeah, okay, yeah, so I have to start for those.
Yeah, Purdue stumbled a little bit
They
lately.
did stumble Friday night, so yeah, so.
Oh, all I seen was Michigan fighting amongst each other.
All right, Ed, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, so after Andrew looked through the contract, he's approved, we made a few updates there. So he's okay with this is the contract that we discussed last of January, so I have had it signed by the Purdue officials, and so I have 2 copies of the contract. Also have, I know it was, we had our annual community luncheon where we hand out our reports, so I did want to go ahead and hand out the reports to you guys for our meeting for last year. This is our annual report, so I know there was a lot of conflicts that day, so I think you all were at different meetings, and so, but we did have a good turnout. We had 40 people at our, and shared information on 4-H robotics, and so things are really plugging along right here with, we have 4-H signups going on, and it's continued to increase numbers with programs that JP has with the Classroom to Clovers, getting 3rd graders, doing poster projects and that type of thing, so numbers have gone up 7% as he shows last year, so have a lot of ag programs going on as well, community development with leadership classes, so.
Yes, sir, we couldn't make the luncheon, Ed, we were down at a legislative conference that day.
That's what I remember, I think there was a lot of people affected by that, so.
We couldn't make it, but trying to lobby some things for
Yep.
all of us down there that particular few days there.
Yeah, like I
Appreciate
said,
the invite.
no, it was, worked out really well, the 4-H robotics team, came and shared about, some of the career development that's going on with that program, and so. So, I've got the contracts here.
Wall makes a motion to sign the contracts.
Motion by Commissioner Wall, second by
Scuffle.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried, thank you.
If you give them that bottom copy, the one that you had, I've already signed it.
Yeah, okay, this one here.
Oh, okay,
It's done. You can take
that
it.
one's already signed, both.
So Bridget will need a copy.
Okay. There's a back page here too to sign. Here, if you sign that front page, you sign the back page, Terry.
I will.
Ed, give this, we have the news meeting here, I have some of this, go ahead and give.
Yeah, I've got copies right here.
Give some out, the ones that are over here.
Okay, sure, no, that's
Good deal.
fine, if
Thank you.
anybody, if everyone wants a copy, I've got several pages here, so.
You haven't started enrollment this year for 4-H yet.
Yes, we have, oh yeah, we started in January.
So numbers are up.
Yeah, we're coming up, especially with this third grade program that he's doing in the schools. We're seeing some kids sign up, you know, after doing the third grade, and then, you know, continue to do that through the elementary school, so. Yeah, so I'll hand out.
A lot of people don't realize that the increase in numbers for 4-H is also an increase in revenue for a lot of businesses that are supported by youth that are buying livestock and their feeds, and we have some of the top breeders for pigs, goats, sheep in the nation in Huntington County, which is, and actually POA ponies with the Zoms out there on State Road 5 that helps support the economy of the things that they buy too. So some of us that's in agriculture realizes that, but I'll tell you, I hit a lot of national shows and seeing some of the Huntington County people coming to Perry, Georgia, or if I'm in Louisville, they're just winning left and right.
Yeah.
I'm very, very proud of Huntington County with what agricultural resources we have to put out there in the nation too, so.
No, that's very true. The livestock projects continue to be one of our strengths in the county as well, so. So we talk about other things like robotics and some of the projects like, they're teaching the schools with weather and, science and different things that the kids are doing the projects and taking them to the fair from third grade, and so that hope is that will continue. That program started last year with elementary schools, and they've expanded elementary schools this year, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the robotics team because I was on the fair board when we brought them over from the school corporation because of things
That's
that were
right.
on there, and we brought them over. And I'll tell you what, they have teamed up with Bendix and a lot of the factories, and I'm just naming one, but the engineers that are coming in there to help develop these young minds into engineering, and it's pretty nice. So,
yes.
good deal.
Yep.
Thanks for the report.
Sure.
Thank you, Ed.
Appreciate it.
Okay, if anybody has any questions, let me know, or if
Do you have
anybody
the
needs.
answers?
I have, I don't say I have all the answers, but I will,
What do
I
you
will
do?
go to the resources.
Community garden, one out south for sure, right?
Yeah, they're
And then are you
working
doing one
with,
up north or not?
there's 3 individuals taking the online Master Gardener classes, and they're working with, there's some volunteers with the city, and they're doing there's 3 different locations, starting community gardens
Okay.
in the city, and then, yeah, so that's what's going on this year, there is 3 different locations. And like I said, each of the individuals assigned to those gardens are taking the Purdue Master Gardener program online. So, cause they could, that's the option we have. We have a in-person class that I have several people from Huntington taking that class. We just started it last week, and we have 24 in a class. But this online class is one that people can do at their own. They can take an evening and online. Don't have to go to the actual locations.
Do you know the locations of where they're gonna be at, or yet?
The gardens, I would have to go look at my notes. Christie Connect is the person that's facilitating all that with the city, so
Okay.
But I don't know exact locations, no, but I know they got, she's found like 3 spots where they're doing the actual work, so these are brand new gardens, so yeah, so.
Good.
Yeah. So,
When I put my garden in for, the jail, when I had the
Yes,
inmates
yes.
go down, that went real well.
I remember that was when I first moved here, that
It
was,
phenomenal to get the female inmates out and
Yes.
get them in the garden. I talked to Jim Zalman, he brought a load of manure over, for something like that, he oftentimes donates and stuff like that.
Mhm.
When you
I remember.
tilled it all in, it really helped with the
yeah,
output.
yeah, we had that going at the high school there too for a little while, until they started the construction projects, we had, and that, we moved it to the extension office and then, so.
And we ate off of that for almost the year, zucchini and tomatoes and.
Yeah.
We grew our own vegetables there for
No,
4 years.
that would be, they've had some success, I know other communities with continuing that, it'd be nice to see that, way to get that started, with the inmates again, so, yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Have a good day.
You too.
So real quick here, a few years ago, we purchased what was known as Victory Knoll, the Our Lady of Victory Missionary Sisters Mother House. And we acquired a 50,000 square foot facility and 12 acres. And we got our new 911 dispatch center in the basement, and we have community corrections and Parkview Behavioral Health out there. We also have, how many sisters do we still have out there, Phil?
About 6.
About 6.
Yeah.
So, on March the 7th, the sisters cut us a check for $20,000. We've had some heating and cooling issues with certain parts of the building, and it's been a really great partnership with these sisters. Great marriage. They basically gave us the facility. They had the facility listed, I think, through a national realty company for around $5 or $6 million. We purchased the facility for $350,000. And they've just been, it's been a great partnership with them. They've been there for almost 100 years, and so we're kind of charged for carrying the torch into the next century. We're very pleased. Parkview Behavioral Health has partnered with us to take care of the mental health piece. Obviously, people in community corrections to come out there and go through work release and get help with their problems of mental health or substance abuse through community corrections. So it's been a really great partnership, and we're very grateful. They cut us a check for $20,000 just this last week, so I want to thank them personally. Great bunch of people out there. Glad to be a partner with them. Also, we looked at looking at our annual quotes, our bids for the different stones and asphalt materials, culverts, tires, and we took all the bids under advisement at the last meeting. We looked at all the quotes and we accepted all the quotes as written. The stone has gone up about $1 a ton, I think, on the average across the board. One plus is that because the price of petroleum is down, our asphalt materials, which is a big piece of what we use for chip and seal and all the other products that we use, the price for those products that are tied to petroleum are down this year, so that's a good thing for us. Bridget, anything you want to add to that, or Dave, anything you want to add to those quotes?
I have copies of everything for you guys here in this file. Yep. The asphalt stuff didn't come down considerably, but it did come down a little bit.
Right. I think our fuel bids are due next meeting, right?
Correct, the 24th.
So we lock in our prices, we buy a couple 100,000 gallons of fuel. We lock in that price for a year. We've seen some tremendous savings over the last few years, as much as $1 less than what you pay at the pump. So we also partner with Huntington City, Huntington Township, some non-for-profits, and they buy their fuel through us also. We charge a small administrative fee for that, but it's been a good program for us to lock in the price for the whole year for the fuel.
So typically, we accept all bids and quotes. That way, if someone does not have material, we can go to the next one. So I would make that motion to accept all these that have been presented and here.
Motion
If
by,
you need to see copies of these, we can make copies for anyone.
motion by Commissioner Wall, to accept the bids, all the bids as presented, second by Commissioner Stuffle, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, no opposition, motion's carried, thank you.
We do have a start date on removing the underground tanks, and they're, hoping to be there on the 24th.
24th of
To
March.
start those, yep.
Okay.
And since we're talking about the fuel, Rob, I think we should make a note that we did get married to anybody in the sense where we have to buy the fuel from them, that we bought the tanks independently, and so we can constantly shop for the best bid.
Yeah,
It seems like
we had
you
the opportunity.
get married to somebody's equipment, then they can do whatever they want to you. And we spent just a little bit, not much, a little bit more, and just bought the equipment ourselves. It's ours, and we will be shopping for that bid and try to be as competitive as possible, especially in this market right now.
We asked local vendors to bid on it too, like Johnson's Junction was a local vendor that hasn't bid before. Petroleum Traders, Keystone,
Series, or whatever they call it.
Keystone.
That's Keystone.
That's
Okay.
Keystone, so, yeah, we've been pretty successful with it, I think it's a good program for everybody.
Well, it's good to put it up because there's quite a spread.
Yeah, I was in, North Webster yesterday, gas was $2.67 there, and it was $3.15 in South Lily. So that's
Okay.
Bridget did a big spread.
The letter that went out to them in reference to the bidding process, remember last year we had the confusion on, some of it had tax on it, some of it didn't, and we weren't comparing apples to apples.
Yes.
We had
It
to
is laid
break.
out in the bid what they're supposed to do.
Okay, all right, good. So, because there was some confusion last year, and we couldn't make it, we couldn't really see what we were looking at, so, okay. Hi.
Good morning. How is everyone?
How are you?
Good. Doing well.
Good.
We've heard from Todd from NDOT and we had a de-obligation letter from Todd that explains that for the year 2024, we didn't utilize all of our funds. So what they will do is the unclaimed amount, which is specified here, they put it towards this year's budget. It's not in addition to the budget that they have set aside for us, but just to be a part of.
So it reduces their obligation
Yes,
because we
I'm
pick
gonna
it up.
go this way, okay,
Problems there?
Want me to pull it out?
So that's the amount that's the de-obligated, and then this just states that we've
Is
received.
that the 4,000?
So that is for capital vehicle, and then the 65 is operating.
No, you're pretty close though, you know, that's not real far off when you talk about your budget and stuff, so.
Yeah, and actually this past year was Lisa's first year doing like full budget, so in the realm of things, like I was.
That's not far off.
And then we did get a letter or an email from him also stating that we now have an option. You guys now have an option of whether you want to continue our pass-through agreement or not. So what that would look like for us is basically we would be getting audited more frequently, like financial audits, stuff like that, to prove that there's no fraudulent activity going on.
Do you have that agreement?
I do.
So we need to give that to our attorney, we'll have him look it over.
Okay.
And then we can act, you don't need this today, I hope, correct?
I can ask for an extension.
Well,
And
let's give
explain.
this to Mr. Boxberger and see if he
Okay.
sees a flaw with that.
Okay.
And then while you're here, but we need time to look over.
And so like,
This is like going into hot now and give it to him right away,
Right.
yeah.
after speaking with the board, we would prefer to continue the pass-through agreement with you all. Especially since like we now have all of the items that we need to be doing.
Sure.
Just so why change a good thing, basically, is the way that we feel.
You'd be standing alone for everybody else, you'd be standing alone without us.
Exactly.
So we need to keep it the same.
Okay.
So, yes.
You gotta use municipal plates, you gotta get we have a partnership together. I will make a motion to sign
The obligation.
the application letter. Be one motion.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried, thank you.
Yeah, so Todd emailed that to us about a week and a half ago. And it was after our board meeting, so it was very just quick,
I get it.
so.
Yeah, just,
Can we ask to have this at the next meeting? This cites a lot of federal code stuff, I don't know off the top of my head.
that's why we wanted to have them, so if that's okay, you.
That's fine,
And
I'll
then
reach
from now
out
on,
to
if you
him.
get documents like this, agreements and things that we're supposed to sign, get it to Mr. Boxberger
Okay.
or our office here, and we'll forward it on, that way we can move a little bit quicker on it, but that's fine.
Sounds great. And then, the last thing is the pass-through items. So what Lisa and I did is we sat down together last week and went through, filled all of this out and referenced and highlighted, where it's at in our compliance and grant agreement and everything, that way for
Super.
these purposes, yes, I mean, it states when it was done and where it's at.
This is where we got dinged at last year, for not doing this.
Good deal.
And then, so actually what we realized is this stuff on the front page, we only have to do it once, and then the quarterly stuff, what we do for that is we'll bring it to quarterly and you guys sign kind of thing.
That's great.
So. I did have a few that I struggle with, so I did reach out to NDOT.
Okay.
And if you would like, we can move this too. And it's actually,
Give us a copy.
okay, it's actually supposed to be filled out by you guys, which I didn't realize that. It just talked about if we've ever had any concerns with us or if we've ever been considered high risk. So I left those blank.
Okay.
And,
I'm glad, I like what you did, and we can fill that other part, but
okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Does it have to be in by a certain time?
No,
So just, yeah, leave that with Bridget and we'll look
You
over
got
them numbers and,
perfect.
go weekend.
I will do that then.
Appreciate you doing the upfront work for us.
No problem at all. But yeah, aside from those things, I mean, we've had some people utilize the veterans rides.
That's awesome.
which has been
That's
great.
so cool. Yes.
And Saturday transportation is going very well. I think in the month of January, it was pretty slow, we only had like 36, but it's been definitely getting more utilized, so it's been good.
People
Once
wanna
it
get
gets
out.
nice, they'll be out.
People wanna get out there, so.
Do you guys have anything specific for us?
No, just keep doing the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're gonna leave that with Bridget so we
Yes.
can go over that, so,
Absolutely.
okay.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for her about that?
If you want to, you can, it's fine.
Have we been doing the veteran rights?
Yeah, she said, yeah, we're utilizing them now, yeah, yep.
We've actually-
A week or?
More than that, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We've been funding it for several years, the veterans rights, so.
It was just getting it back up and running.
I don't think the VFW likes to use their van that much, so it's nice that, yeah. Oh, there's chips.
Gretchen, she went through.
Not yet.
I just told her I'd start copying all of it.
So, she's going through the right. Please, Phil. Maybe two.
Maybe one.
Maybe two. Maybe pull off a second.
Sure. Actually,
There was a cutting guy that was on the show also. He has the booth there, he wasn't there. So he brought them in there, so he could test the birds. So that's thanks to you. And then Gator, he was selling them. I'm sorry, I could have known, I would have got that.
I got busy and got the text back.
Good.
So we're gonna keep moving here. Phil, what can you do for real quick?
Sounds good.
Does anybody want a copy of the stone?
Stone and bids. You want a copy of the stones and bid or not?
Which sewers?
I don't know. Still trying to.
I wrote down just a couple of highlighted items that's coming up. Just like the hearing station.
Okay.
Turkey Creek, which is what Wall of in Syracuse. The Heritage Days, worked with Steve Kimmel, we got that squared away with regards to Gator. I did ask him to give us a certificate of insurance. Reliability, I will have us, the guys listed as additional insured on it, we'll get that squared away.
That's good, because everything we do in the parade, we gotta be insured on. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. FSM, full service mechanical. What I have here is a renewal for our services for the PM work that they did last year. It's the same amount, same contract. Andy, I don't know if you wanna review that, it's the same one we approved last year. You wanna see it just so you have it?
Sure.
This is.
Again, make sure next time, we just need to get all that stuff emailed to
Yeah, well, this is an oversight on mine, actually, I got a reminder over the weekend that I forgot to follow this up.
We're just testing, we'll see how he is in speed reading.
Pressure's on today. That is a 2-year.
I punted the last one.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you later what Bob Garrett would tell me when we throw stuff at him. That was tenure though, yeah.
And that's just for here, Andy, PM for here.
So they have the gator figured out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your new gator yet?
Yeah, the courthouses, we moved out there, they picked up the old gator, from out there, and then Dave's got the new one sitting out there in the shop, so. I have not seen it, sounds like it's a pretty nice setup.
Pretty nice setup. Yep, just need the snow so we can use it.
No, we don't need the snow. I'm okay with the moisture, just don't need the snow.
And wait till next year.
Well, you're gonna use yours for spraying as much as you are
Yeah,
anything.
we're gonna use ours for spraying, that same, yeah.
I can run down through a couple other items, but I think he's looking at. DLZ with regards to our grant, that will be submitted to the grantee people this week for review and blessing to go out for bid. We did split it up with the approval of them into 2 bid packages, one for the windows, one for roofing work, makes sense, whether it has general, it's just gonna mark it up and pass it on down the line, so. The old landfill, Rob? Got that on the calendar for, okay.
9 o'clock.
We're meeting, the Cisco rep out of the old landfill to walk through some different items. And we are, speaking of that, I'm still waiting on a response back with regards to dirt work, or the additional dirt from IDEM to make sure, I told Gary as soon as we get that, whatever that goes,
I will get with him so you guys can get that job out for bids.
Probably would, it's gonna be a pretty contentious hearing when that happens.
The gist I got from Jerry is the money's that for the dirt, as long as the commissioner's money goes through for the dirt movement, right, basically is my understanding. Because there's two separate items. Out of that line item you guys have for the landfill would be coming paying for the dirt move, which is a separate item versus what the actual.
I have a problem with the preliminary numbers of getting the dirt out of there, I think it was way too high, and we're not gonna pay to have a ditch done.
Yeah, that's like we're doing the ditch work.
And, personally, I'm on the board, I wouldn't want an open ditch through the middle of my farm. And this guy here is gonna have one there, I don't know how I'm gonna vote, I'm gonna have to hear the pros and cons of it, but, sure. There may be one no vote in that, I don't know what's gonna happen,
So
but.
if they put the underground thing where it feeds in there, they wouldn't have to remove all that dirt, right?
They could, but it'd have to be such a huge capacity tile through there, at least, I'm thinking, 6 foot
I
or
think they
something.
referenced, I think it's 5 or 6 foot culvert.
And that would be triple the cost, if not more, but.
If you're paying for the cost.
I will
of
tell you,
pipe, then
at our
that-
drainage board meeting, there were some people here in the audience, it was at our last drainage board meeting, would we have a $58,000 spread between one bid and another bid? And then the other one come in, it was almost $60,000 bid, and we're having trouble. We need more people to bid projects, out there, otherwise.
So what was the cost of the dirt removal though, to have it hauled away? If we throw that in there, does that help offset that number then, or?
For the cost to move it to the landfill,
Yeah.
that was a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Just to truck the dirt from the site over to the old landfill.
So if that doesn't get, if we don't have a $200,000 bid, could we use that so Jim doesn't have a big ditch down in the middle of his property? And, if we threw that $200,000 at that project?
That would be a question, I would assume for your attorney, because you'd be paying for it out of the line item, I guess, for the landfill, correct?
Yeah.
So,
We're not even, our budget's not even
So, years ago, when I came on the drainage board, someone at County Highway, I think it was Mike Barton, told there was a project between 200 South and 300 South that run through Trout's Farm, out there by where their big pig farm is. Big mound of dirt was there, they said, County Highway said they wanted the dirt. Well, I don't think they realized how many tons of dirt was there. And it was one of my goals to get that hauled out of there. And I'm gonna say, we dug out of there, hauled it to the landfill, and we wasn't even, we're close to $60,000. And I realize it's been a few years, now trucks are not $75 an hour, they're maybe $100, $110 an hour.
I think is what I was told.
But it's an easy trip back and forth, especially at this project, we're only a half mile away,
Less than a
right?
mile, yeah.
So, I think logistically, we should be able to get it done cheaper, but I'm like Terry,
I don't do that to Jim. I'm just on that board, but that's, I
Well,
would
Tom
like
Luck's out
that.
there, I had a new ditch put out at my farm and they wanted to come right straight through my farm, close to my barns. I said, no, you're just splitting my farm, so we went along with the property edges. Well, guess what? Some of the landowners next to me, they really didn't wanna take off on the side of their property, but they was okay taking off of mine too. But you find out what your neighbors are like until you start getting a ditch through the farm, but.
Sure.
I think there's more discussion to talk about it, but unfortunately, the way these bids did the other night, or the other day, last Thursday, it was mind-boggling, the spread.
And this was for a different?
For different projects that was going on. Yeah,
Yep.
$60,000 spread, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, that lower one wouldn't have bid. Because you don't know.
Couple things on this, so this isn't effective till June 1st, there's a typo in here. It says it says 2023, and then the other thing is, it's for 2 years.
Yeah.
With everything we got going on with the HVC around here, do we really wanna bind ourselves for 2 years?
That's a you call.
I mean, I'd rather probably do it for a year in case we figure out, 6 months from now, we gotta redo a bunch of stuff that we're doing, I don't bound to a contract for 2 years.
Yep, just make a note on that, and I will get that squared away.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you guys wanna approve it with those changes, then I'm good with that.
Well, I'll make that motion to approve that with the changes that attorney.
To 1 year and fix the date.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Motion by Wall, second by Commissioner Stuffle, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed,
Thank you.
motion's carried, thanks.
Place of Grace, all that's been squared away, things are adjusted, thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Revised documents have been sent to Place of Grace. I assume Rob will be reaching out to you at some point, they are filling out the, minor plat application to the city, so changes, so I'll get with you as soon as they have that filled out, and get that executed, so we can keep that ball rolling. Last week, we did a jail walk real quick on the roof. Kind of waiting on a response back, it appears we have some water being trapped under the walk paths, which are adhered to the roof membrane. That's what I heard a crunch when I was up, but first I was cold, that's what it is. So, as soon as I get a response back from that, I'll update everyone on how that's rolling.
And that's on the new part.
That's on the new part,
So,
yes.
did you go through DLZ because they were architect on that?
Yes, they are listed on the email. They could not make it that day of the walkthrough, but yes, we are working with them as well. I think it's, Scott Carnegie, Phil Wink is on the email, and Mr. Trevino. All three of them run.
They're gonna probably point the finger at Wygant.
I don't know how this is gonna,
We have an extended warranty, correct?
that I don't know. I will find out, I can find out, I
Be
don't
the
know that.
roofing contract, right?
The roofing itself is, warranty for X amount of years, obviously. I just kind of expressed my thoughts, my opinion. I mean, I understand it's a flat roof, but we don't want pocketing areas already. And, I mean, if it was older, I don't want to say I can understand it, but I can. But with only being a few years old. So we're gonna wait. We've met with a rep, it was myself, Wygant, Colton Wygant, and another one of his gentlemen, and then myself, James from the jail, and then a gentleman from Amos Roofing, which represents Carlisle Roofing Company. So he's gonna follow back up with Carlisle, they'll come back with what they think the solution, if they see the solution. Part of their agreement is on a flat roof, there will be ponding for like 48 hours and it'll evaporate. I mean, that's part of their warranty. So we'll see what they come back with.
But you said it was under the membrane.
It's under, and it's not through the roof. I don't know why they adhered, there's a walk path up there, I forgot to print pictures or I would have. But there is a walk path that's got a, like, it looks like a diamond plate material, it's not, but that rougher material, so when you walk on it, you'll slip. They adhered it to the roof membrane itself.
Oh, so it might be underneath that.
So it's, you can see it when you, that certain area, you can kind of see it rolling.
Gotcha.
So we just gotta figure out how to get that drained. If we figure that part out, I think that will take care of part of the ponding areas, because it's bridging that area holding. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on that part of it. We did have the state fire marshal showed up at the O'Donnell Center. What he checked, we were all good on, so no worries on that part as well. From there, I think we are good.
Get some prices on the offices.
I have not, for the O'Donnell Center, I have not yet. I did go back and forth with Adam with Parkview. I want to change our configuration a little bit, just to make things work, and he was good with that. Just as long as we can come up with the same concept that they need, they're good with that. And the reconfiguration is gonna be due to plumbing, is what it is. Yep. From there, I'm good, unless you guys have something for me.
So I know Stephanie's dug up some old documents for Andy for the landfill, right?
Yep, we're going through all that stuff.
Yeah, I know it's, wasn't expecting an answer today.
I do have those boxes for you.
Okay.
Whatever you wanna do with them.
I'll take them today.
Okay. Okay, and that's all.
Let me give you something I dug out of it.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
For you, sir.
Stephanie, do you have anything from HR for
I
us?
do have one thing.
Happy birthday again.
This is just the agreement for UGS to do our annual compliance for,
Wagon,
the drug
I'm sorry, I
drug
said wagon,
reporting.
no.
They charge $2,000 and they handle this annually. So if I can have you agree to that, sign it.
Actually, I come and sit.
I'll make some motion to sign that agreement.
Motion by Commissioner Wall, second by Stoffel, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. None opposed, motion carried.
I've done a lot of work with those guys, they're good people.
Yeah. I think they are.
No. I got Judy Smith, he was right with that, that's good, that's good. She's just gonna take it out.
No.
Thank you, sirs. That is it.
Good access. Yeah, you should.
Dave? What's your game plan on the highway department out on the road?
Gonna try to work on some gravel roads.
Okay.
Get a lot of complaints on that, which is not unusual this time of year when it starts getting warm out, raining, and the roads are a little bit soft, so we're gonna, apply a little bit of stone on some of them. We can, I know we've been lacking stone work on it for a few years, so we're gonna do that.
Jill, do you have anything for us from the auditor's office?
The only thing I have is Adrian Haberstadt, dropped off a signed copy of the revised contract
They
for
have that.
reimbursement.
Yeah.
So we'll just need that signed.
Andy, do you have anything for us?
Nope.
We still Yeah. We'll take we don't have anything else on the agenda until 10:30, we'll take a short 5 or 10 minute break, folks.
You have that stuff from NDOT or council or agent, I'll try to sign some of the check.
Yeah.
On this.
Forgot to sign the payroll.
My initial,
Oh, I didn't see it down there.
you want my signature?
You're gonna stick it.
I didn't see that up there, normally we just do it on the side.
Sure. Thanks for what it was, 10:30.
Good.
I was gonna say, it's only 3. Oh, yeah. Mike's coming, sweet.
Felt like time was moving on.
Get ready to put it up. Yes.
We are.
It's probably step 5.
I'm out of here, take care guys.
Probably see you, Hank.
Oh, it's on Bill.
Alright. I'll wait, yeah. Okay.
The water is getting.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Here you go, Leon.
Years to number some water that's pretty good.
It's a shame, I know when we
See you.
Have a good one. We got an extended.
No,
So ask them, and unfortunately, it's somewhere buried in our files.
TW, I got that one.
Yeah.
I sent it to you.
like, so, yeah, it was like, multi-page.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
They didn't
Was it
say.
off again? Terry said it when he first came in this morning.
It's too bad.
Thank you.
I don't want you late for bathroom breaks.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about that.
Technology.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that, I get up and just leave. Yeah, I'm at that age, gotta go.
That's all, that's a different style light.
Oh, I'm like,
As long as we don't have to wear
It's a different style light.
I will still get that stuff. Well, it's when you take care of yourself, life is good, if somebody else to take care of it.
well, yeah.
Told my kids, once that happens, stick a fork in me, man, I'm done.
Shoot, went right on.
Take me out on this.
When did you land on my desk?
Week ago.
Right, it's 25, it's getting built.
It doesn't require any action.
Okay.
That's it, well,
Oh, okay. Maybe I found it.
It's QT, there's.
I'll double check.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Don't double check it.
Hey, he comes draining for you tonight, Terry Capper, scolded Capper for not getting done. Well, you know, when you get done, you can go. Yeah.
Go grab one.
No, I just.
Where you working?
I thought maybe you knew that.
Behind the building.
Great.
There's a little toddler who's a little upset and I shake to give him a lollipop and they're happy.
He even went around and served them. I was gonna send that to you, I forgot about it.
Did you get a picture of that? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, I don't know if he knows.
Well, I took that picture, I was gonna send it to Hank so he could report on it, but.
He's retired, semi-retired.
Well,
Well, semi could.
you don't know which hour it is to know if he's retired.
I don't care, yeah.
We went out to Diane and Jerry's to see the truck.
She was a great,
You get excited when they bring you a box of paperwork.
So pretty.
I'm just gonna give it to
We
somebody
need
else.
Quitline International too.
I'm trying to figure out how you got.
They're the cheapest
boxes.
thing out there, that we need Lolos or we need.
Long
Yeah, I
nose
don't know,
peas.
that seems
Long-
like it's.
long nose pieces from the sauce.
Yeah.
We'll see what's in there.
Two-stage Jake bread, we can get them boys in the truck.
Because he was with Jill Denman's office.
I've been doing her research on trucks and stuff. Sometimes they've been coming in.
Maybe that's your answer.
Why is there a problem? And he gives me this 6 years breakdown of history on International, on what they did in the years of that motor that was so bad that that pulled up and.
I'm on orientation, the bank balls across the street, she was upstairs, and then they just moved again. And most of the paperwork.
Thank you, California. Basically back to an old style motor.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's from the Xerox.
That's what
Yeah, I don't
it
have
is.
any picture at all.
Then they're gonna start putting something.
People always try to give me like, you want the original? I'm like,
That's why they burn up.
I'm just gonna scan it and throw it away, so.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen those big things
My
like
desk.
that.
But yeah,
Now just
I
a table,
got
so
3
there's no
trucks today,
drawers
they
under
started
it.
up at home.
So like, if I have drawers, I know my
Lights are
stuff,
on, one truck you
things I
got.
don't need in there, so
Solid, total.
I have paper on top of my desk and trash tickets to it. That's why.
Derated itself in the def system.
I don't keep any paper.
Wills, they're not afraid they can even get it across
Just keep
town.
the original wills.
I have to bolt hard, they come and pull it over there.
That's it.
Don't start on those, B.
Too late.
I have
Too late.
So
a filing cabinet for all my taxes,
I've already talked to her about.
just today.
It's
usually
usually
brand-
brand. Well, they're a little more
This time
expensive.
recorded in 23.
Cabinets
That's
Just
where
now
we're
back
gonna get
It's organized.
So with the emissions changing, they're going back to the old style motors, but they're just moving the emissions controls basically out into the exhaust system, is that basically
That's
the
the way I
next
took
one?
it. They said you're gonna be able to see the top of the motor like you usually see that.
Then you just can't afford the exhaust systems, what it
All
comes
the
down to.
well, that's what one of our trucks is the, something, a sensor of some sort is wrong in the depth system, so it derates the truck and the more you drive it, the slower it'll go.
Yeah.
It's down to like 20 or 30 mile an hour. We don't even know if we can drive it to Corey Little's house yet, it's having work on it because it's, I mean, it's not, that's only 4 or 5 miles there.
Could they come in and look at the,
He does.
bring their scanner in to see if they can reset it, talk about it, would it go?
What's that?
Commissioners,
He's
I
still,
have
he
more
can come to
realtors.
our shop, he's come to our shop, work on stuff.
Realtors said 32, citizens.
It's really his job, his tools are there.
I go to about, work for
That was
15 to 20 board meetings, plus
Reset it,
It's
tear down.
a
any board,
It's a sensor or something.
Are they on the board?
Yes, you can.
I mean,
Here you go.
instead of high roof,
It would just show like
work trucks.
How many journeys would you put in a room? 12 cars in
That's good part.
Well, let's at what I call
You'll be able to get
in order to work on that
Can I email
turbo,
it to you?
Yeah, and
you either
the
got to
Purdue contract.
pull the cap.
I will email both of
I don't
those to you.
think you could make the
Fix it, it's just,
It's awesome. I don't know. I think that's. I know it's clear. Yeah, it's too much electronic.
We know how many people are
Yeah,
watching.
it's out at the highway,
No, I didn't.
yeah.
It said it's on
This is
YouTube, I
Gretchen's
thought.
first day though, so I'm still filling in. Yeah, I'll probably be around for a while. So you want to do the contract and the hotel ordinance?
Yeah, sometimes I can get that from Alicia. but it's signed.
No, I'm just curious.
Yep, I'll get it.
I thought it was saying something about.
That's what, yeah, you told me that I had that same
I'll
problem.
email that to you this afternoon.
He said if
So at some point, it was just a sales thing.
Good, how are you? Good. Here's my kerosene.
Show your wife that.
So how many people are watching the, you know?
I don't
Does
know.
it say on your
I
side?
did not show it to you.
Well, it does somewhere. This is.
Is this YouTube or Zoom or what is it? It is.
Processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My laptop.
But now we're gonna put it back in. And they charge more.
I have no idea who's watching it. I don't know where you see that.
Well, you know, I wanted it because
For
This
broadcast
is.
the web.
I just set it up.
The cat
Told me how to write it. No.
Yeah, click it. This is like an administrative control or something. The chat.
I don't think that is
So
right.
this is a broadcasting system.
Private.
Right, we do not have this chat set up, because I can't chat at the same time, yeah. So actually, if someone were to.
It's all great when it works.
Yeah. Virtually,
I know my wife
Still
doesn't, she only works 2.5 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
So
but you
that's why
have
you
to
got,
have.
that's why this.
So you're gonna swear at
So this is just broadcasting.
So I could still send you a link to Zoom.
So what that's doing, that's taking, okay, so that's a middleman app, you have Zoom that allows you to participate, you can record it, upload it to YouTube. That allows you to broadcast it
I stuck it in the water.
that then keeps a picture.
Right.
And then that also keeps off camera.
There's no reason to.
Someone's gonna have issues.
We had issues last time.
Right, no, I
Yeah, it's
just in
darn.
I know you got, but you did go 2x2.
Well, I didn't know so like, was it natural? So all the accidents, not just the.
How are you?
I got the primo seat now.
What time did you get here, like 7:45? Grab that?
For me, a little after 8. Yeah, we get here early.
Right?
We got, yeah, see what your guys' schedule is. What is, I'm assuming sooner is better than later. Okay, with you.
Take care of a couple things.
They're all throughout the campus.
We're gonna go back in and
Yeah.
we're good. So, okay, we're gonna start our redevelopment commission meeting.
Thank you. Okay.
There you go. I didn't know anything about it.
Haven't resorted to that yet, but.
Are you gonna still be in the commissioner meeting or RDC meeting?
Well, we're actually still in the commissioner meeting, but we're gonna start our RDC meeting. Okay? Alright.
Yeah. Our 18-month-old is
real handful. So
Yeah.
I think he's gonna wanna get in the lanes and go make friends.
This will actually be, separate from commissioners, so you wanna open up back to commissioners.
Okay, so
And then
we-
adjourn, recess, that whatever you're gonna do.
Alright, so I need
Well,
a,
makes a motion to recess commissioners meeting.
okay, second by
You?
Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, alright.
Hold on, guys, wait.
Yeah.
Shut this down.
Stephanie.
Did Terry leave for the day?
What's that?
Did Terry leave right there?
Really made a request.
Well, I gotta take off.
He's coming in.
Okay.
Do you want to sit in for a few minutes?
I'll sit.
Okay. Is Phil leaving?
Yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, just let it shut down. Sorry, Phil. No, no, you're
Get
good.
out of here.
Nope, I'm good.
Here you go. Terry, I'll let you guys share one or.
Thank you.
Share with Eric.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
I have to stand and just do it. So,
Hey, Terry. Yeah, you already told me what to do. See?
I swear I do.
Okay, Huntington County Redevelopment Commission, meeting March 10th, 2025, bring it to order. Let the record show that we do have a quorum. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from 10/7/2024. So if there's no discussion or corrections, I entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Wall, second by
Check Miller.
Councilman Terry Miller. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposition. Motion's carried. Thank you. Financial report. Do we have a financial report?
Yep, it's all in your packet
Oh, I'm
there.
sorry.
No, you're good. Hold on a
Okay, yeah,
second.
there it is, right in front of me.
I included the full year for 2024, just for your, information there. And then I also did one that is for, January 1 through 3/12, so that's current as of today.
Shows a cash balance of $150,608.41.
Correct.
How much increment did we, just out of curiosity, take in last year?
That's not gonna show on here.
Yeah, we had a separate report for that.
Yeah.
So you
We can
can
find
find
that
that
for you.
those are all deposited in separate funds.
Okay.
Plum Tree did pretty
I'll
decent.
be sending out an overall
Yeah, that's
breakdown.
fine. I haven't seen it lately. I was just curious. I know there wasn't a tremendous amount of money, but, okay. So that being said, if there's no more discussion or questions on the, financial report, I would, entertain a motion to accept the financial report as presented.
Councilman Miller makes that motion.
Got a motion on the table by Councilman Miller, second by, Commissioner Wall. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you.
Hey Rob, Tim wanted me to let you guys know that he can't attend today because he's on a console.
Right, so we're short in dispatch. Tim Allen is dispatch director. He's also on the Clinton County Community School Board. And he has to, he's the appointment on the school corporation. Non-voting member, but it's important we have him on there. He can't make it
Who's the
today.
fifth voting member?
John Stokely,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. Next, new business, we have Shelley here to election of officers. Well, first we're gonna have election of officers for 2025, which we've already done, haven't we?
This is our first meeting of the year, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is our first meeting of this
First
year.
meeting, okay, so I'd open the floor for election of officers.
Actually, I'm president, but I don't want to be president, so I nominate Rob Miller to be president and Terry Miller to be vice president. That'd be my nomination.
And by Indiana statute, Jill is our secretary.
It's all in my motion.
Treasurer.
Yeah.
That was all going to host him since he's not here, so.
He's non-voting, yeah.
We give him a non-voting member title.
He was doing such a good job running the meeting, I just thought we'll just put you there.
I accept.
Should be.
And I think Andy said it had to be commissioner, councilman, not the same.
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
You good?
Motion's on the floor.
Does it matter?
Second by Commissioner Stump, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's.
Yeah, take over the meeting, Rob, do a good job.
Yeah, I did already, I guess.
So you wanna get Shelley to swear you guys in real quick?
Yeah,
She swears
so-
everybody in.
Yeah,
Swears everybody.
Not just the officers, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she does.
I do, yeah.
Alright, so
Okay,
repeat after her.
I was gonna say yes, you can repeat after me.
Gonna tax
That's
me here.
Alright, you want to raise your right hands. Okay, when I
I feel
say
like I need to
I,
stand when I do that.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah.
so when I say I, you can just say your name and then I'll read through it and then you can just say I do at the end. So I
Rob Miller.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and diligently discharge the duties as a member of the Redevelopment Commission according to the law and the best of my ability.
I do.
Okay,
Thank you, Shelley.
and then I need signatures. Rob, yours.
Thank you.
Here you go. Oops, sorry, Terry.
I know it all looks foreign, but it'll get
Sorry. Read right in front of you. I'll get you a copy of all of these.
Okay, I had a couple things we wanted to talk about, so in the past, Bridget, and Andy can jump in here too, we've had Baker Tilly, do the annual reporting requirement.
There's a bunch of reporting requirements, there's one due April 15th, which Baker Tilly's already working on.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure that was still in motion.
Mhm.
Anything else, as far as holding any more meetings the rest here, or we met our statute for that?
We have to do at least one.
At least one?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And we'll have to have an annual meeting for all the taxing districts too.
Okay, right, okay. So Baker Tilly was accused stuff on that.
Yeah,
also.
I've already confirmed with them and they're on everything that we need to
Okay,
file.
just wanna make sure we're, got all our paperwork in line, for that. So we have a TIF district over, west of,
City of Marcos.
and we own, commissioners have a property that's roughly 7/10 of an acre. And, just in passing, talk to Tom about it a little bit, see what his thoughts were, I wanted to bring this to the table. What are your thoughts about the commissioners, deeding the 7/10 of an acre over to the RDC, Andy?
Easy to do, if that's what you wanna do.
I think it kind of makes sense, then if the property was sold, then the funds would go into the, RDC instead of coming back to the commissioners. I think the redevelopment commission can probably put it to use.
Sure. I guess it's not public knowledge yet who is going there, is that correct, Mr. Christian?
Then there is a company evaluating the real estate in that area. They have appeared before the planning commission, but to my knowledge, the name of the company, otherwise it's not public.
So in what they have drawn up so far, are they gonna be needing to purchase any of our right of way there to put their driveways in?
That's a better question for Kim or the planning
Okay.
commission. My understanding is there will need to be some change in the traffic pattern, the infrastructure associated with the road and the street. That, solving that particular question could theoretically involve the real estate that you're discussing.
So all the property around it is economic development, and then it's our TIF district there. Kyle Lund had got back with us, wanted to know if we want to give up some of our TIF district because of that, because they have to run water and sewage over there. But
Tom, if I may, Nick. Lund.
Nick, I'm sorry, Kyle, his dad was here earlier, sorry, yeah, you're right, Nick Lund, and, I personally feel we could share it a little bit with them instead of giving it to them, but. They haven't come back with anything there at all, but I believe this company is wanting to fund all of the sewer and water to come up there. And that'd be one thing for us, and I think I expressed to them and also Mr. Wickersham in the meeting I was in, that if they run sewer and water in there, we wanna make sure that it's big enough that we can tap into it for the rest of the development too. And I think they're sizing it appropriately, the way I'm being told, so,
Is the town on board with the sewer and water?
yeah.
Well, if the commissioners wanna transfer that property over to the redevelopment commission, I can have that ready for the next commissioners meeting to do that.
I need a motion maybe to do that.
We can't do that here, cause the commissioners are doing it.
You're right.
But I'll be ready,
You're right.
I can be ready for the next commissioners meeting with the deed and stuff, if that's what you wanna do.
Yeah, gotcha.
Once we step up.
Makes sense.
Okay.
But that's all I know about it, but I think it looks like it's moving forward pretty fast. So, 'cause they've done a lot of engineering and a lot of things to get that accomplished.
Residential tips, the next item, in the old business, is there any more new business? Let me back up here. Any more new business? Residential TIF, actually, I really kind of dropped the ball on this. I know at one of our previous meetings, I discussed, we discussed off of, 100 North, but no, 200.
Yeah, Eric and Terry's been working on the other properties. Another thing we need to bring in is Commissioner's sales list of empty lots.
Right.
Whether we want to take them over as redevelopment commission, because Habitat for Humanity has expressed interest in what, 4 or 5 of the lots? For builds.
Yeah.
So I personally feel they can talk about, do we need to get that transferred over to the redevelopment commission, or is them lots something that we want, or is that something that'd be very good for the community just to pass them on as commissioners to the.
There's a couple that, that the commissioners might be interested in. And then there's 4 for the Habitat. And then there's actually one in Andrews that I would recommend maybe the Pathfinders take a look at. And so, I don't know how that transpires, and maybe you can.
If these are all nonprofits, then it's pretty easy to make happen.
Okay.
We can worry about the details, but if we don't want it as a redevelopment commission and the commissioners are agreeable to it, then we can get them pulled off of the commissioner's sale, because that's coming up on next month, I think. This month, how time flies when we're having
No, I don't think we wanna pull it off, we wanna go through the process.
You do?
Yeah, for the commissioners to eventually take title to it, so that then you can transfer them to Habitat.
I thought they had to go through, is what you said.
That's what I said, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Typically, we would pull them off before the auction, and then that way someone wouldn't buy them at the auction. That's what I meant.
That's what you meant, okay.
Yes.
I'll have to,
That's what we did before.
yeah, I'll have to look.
Maybe I explained that wrong,
Yeah.
but what I mean by pulling them off is so that they don't go to the public auction and someone can't purchase it, because we wanted to give it to the.
I'll have to see where we are, if we already have the commissioners, we wouldn't have the commissioners deed yet.
No.
Okay.
And the sale is Friday, the 21st.
Okay. I'll check on
Because what
that.
we've done before is we would pull it off, and then we'd work with the not-for-profit, and then they would do their due diligence, but it wouldn't go in the list for the auction on that date.
Yeah, I think, need to take a look at that one. I know Pathfinders is actually planning to focus much more intensely on housing. They're gonna try to like reshift towards, doing more work in that area, because I know they kind of haven't been as much in recent years, but, recent conversation with Chris Kaufman has kind of shown that they want to be a leader again in the community with that, so might be interesting to see, what they would maybe wanna
I have that.
take on.
I've already had that communication with what they're interested in.
Okay, good, so there's just the one.
There's 4 lots.
4 lots for Pathfinders.
Oh, I'm sorry, I talked on, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one lot that they could be interested in because it's next to another lot in the other.
Okay.
So I haven't had that communication.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, when do you need to decide on pulling those lots?
Soon.
Soon, okay.
As you said,
The
20.
sale's the 21st.
We can pull them off right up till the day before.
Okay.
The morning of, I believe, whatever. we used to do.
I'll confirm what we need to do.
Commissioners, there's also those lots that I think these do have to go through the sale because they're like something that was made a mistake on and should have been with another sale or whatever that you said you could clean up somehow.
These are the ones for Habitat for Humanity.
No, these are just partial lots that nobody's gonna want, and so they're gonna have to be somebody interested in them. Like there's 3 of them, they're landlocked between a railroad and a.
Is this the one we talked about with the adjacent property owners wanting them? Yeah, there's a special statute to transfer them to there's a process to go through, but to an adjacent property owner can buy them.
Do they have to want to have them?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a want to have them.
So, and we've done that down the old Erie Railroad. There was people along T-24 that we had passed that on to the people there, so.
Who would make that contact?
Have to come through the commissioners and our attorney.
Because somebody's gonna have to call those people and say, hey, do you want this?
Oh, who's the con, we've always put that on the plan commission to help us out.
Okay.
DCD to have them send a letter, but
Well, that's good
they
to
need to know the verbiage to, that's how we sold the other lots that we did last year, because we sent letters to all the neighboring property owners, hey, that's available, that you can buy it and do the due diligence.
Would you like me to communicate with the plan commissions on those lots?
Since you're on that board, that'd be nice, yeah.
They're landlocked pieces of land, like a 1/10 of an acre.
Sliver.
Yeah, it's a sliver, and then one of them's from an old cell out on Broadway that should have been included with the sale because I did research on it.
There's a possibility that they think they own it.
That's correct.
They're probably maintaining
That's correct.
it under the assumption that they
You're
own
100%
it,
correct.
and so.
And who owns it now?
I don't have, I sent you that list.
Florence Myers is one of them.
Yep.
I think we have another one, but-
It's not the railroad. You said it's an old railroad.
This was another
That
situation.
was another
Oh,
situation,
okay.
yeah.
There's 3 little slivers that railroad is on one side, and then there's 3 property owners on the other side. And nobody's gonna want those other than those landowners that those connect to. And so we can put the plan commission on that to see if they can make that connection. And they need to do that right away too then, right? Because if that's.
Yeah, all we have to do is you direct them,
Oh, these are on the commissioner's sale list too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they have to go through the commissioner's sale
Well,
before.
they can just buy the commissioner's sale, it'll be the easiest. 'Cause they
if we can get them there. A lot of people are very confused with the process. A lot of these, the last few auctions, we kind of hand-glad them in there to help them out with the process and have a really nice sheet on how the due diligence is that they have to do. We've had very good success getting the neighbors to buy the properties.
Right.
I mean,
Cause even if they don't buy at the commissioner's sale, they're gonna have to make a bid then to buy them as the adjacent property owner. They're gonna have to actively do something no matter what. So the commissioner's sale, since it's already set up, you know, walk in the door, nobody else is gonna bid on it. So for a nominal price, they can just get it there. So you either gotta give them the commissioner's sale, if we're not gonna do that, then we could just go through the process of, I mean, the commissioners, so who owns, they're just random people entitled to them?
They're on title former owners to an adjacent property. So
Okay.
like the new property owner, they could have lived there, I don't know, 10, 15 years. And it may be like a landlocked parcel that
Right.
they think they own, but it didn't get transferred during the purchase of the property.
And people
Probably
that
because
pay
it's
their
a
property
split.
tax on it, that's how that's commissioner sale.
Yes.
Realistically, you're only gonna end up with a couple parcels on that commissioner's sale. That's just- Well, and these slivers. I'll work with the planning commission. See if they can.
but I don't think there's anything on that list that the redevelopment commission wants to.
I don't. There's 2 lots on there that are, one of them is across from the Byron Street. And one of them's up on College.
Oh, the college. I thought we were supposed to have got possession of that one on Byron Street.
Doesn't show it, and it's on commissioner's sale.
Bob Garrett was supposed to get that over in our name.
Doesn't, I mean, right now it doesn't show that, and it's on the commissioner's sale.
I thought that was done too, college was the only one in question.
It was an empty lot just on the other side of the street, and we kind of made the decision if the jail ever has to expand, or maybe they have to buy more, we might as well start getting the empty lots now instead of later, so.
It's Byron Street.
And that was
On the
given to
list.
Mr. Garrett to get over in our name, and I thought it was done, didn't you, Terry?
I apologize, I
Yeah,
didn't know
but
we
it
were
didn't.
discussing this today.
We'll get it. Good to know.
But the College Street, it can go through the commissioner's sale, and
nobody's interested, then there may, that's a good, that would be a decent, building lot.
But just remember, if the redevelopment commission gets it and the commissioners give us we get ownership of it, then we have to maintain it. So we need to mow it,
I
we need to
understand.
trim it and whatever.
It makes sense.
If it's just floating out there on, no one really owns it, I know the city puts charges on it, but when we sell it, the charges don't go away. Gotcha.
I think I need to start a communication with all of this on one, because there's a lot of lots here, so who should be on that? You? Me? You? One of you guys?
Copy me.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, and then we can lay out
Terry.
all the parcels and figure out what we're gonna do with each one.
Well, and I did, on that, if you looked at those things that I emailed out to the commissioners, and you, I've had all this commentary on there, so.
Okay.
Before you leave here, take that email, give it to Bridget, let her make a copy of it.
I've got it, I just can't find it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you already did all that.
Okay,
What made sense, what didn't, so.
I have it then, you sent it to me.
Sounds easy.
So, sorry.
No, you're fine. So, it's been a while ago, we were having some conversations on the exact same thing, residential TIF. And we were looking at 200 north, between 200 north and 100 northwest of bypass. And then the east side of the bypass, off of 200, south of 200, for residential TIF. What question I have is, you know, the city a few years ago just took in a bunch of area at the county and called it Huntington City TIF district, so I'm not sure whether that encompasses that area or not. You know, because, I mean, there was a pretty big land grab there going on, they tipped all the way out to Goodlettsville.
Did they annex it?
No, but there's a difference between residential TIF and if it's
It's
industrial
a
TIF.
utility TIF.
It was a utility.
Utility TIF.
It was for cable, it was for communication deal.
I remember looking at this years ago, yeah.
So, but, and like I said, I've kind of dropped the ball on this because I was really supposed to get with Andy and talk about some different parcels for that particular area that we were thinking about TIFing. So I guess my question to the board is, do we still want to pursue that particular area for residential TIF or not?
I don't think we should ignore it. I think
It's,
well,
Tacoma butts up to it.
Yeah.
Tacoma, which we've invested some money in that particular housing addition there. But there's also some property around there that I think potentially could be.
You found some others too, correct?
Yeah,
With your
well, I've been
discussions.
working with Terry and there's some interesting opportunities that I think we should.
Just do them all at once.
Yeah, well, I think maybe some prior conversation should be had with property owners and maybe get some options before it gets tipped so we can get ahead of it.
There'll be different TIFs because they gotta connect, they gotta be continual.
Well, ideally, they'd be contiguous, because otherwise you're gonna have separate TIFs with separate funds. So
Yeah,
if we can make it all connected,
these-
that's the
so
ideal.
these
Did you
will be all
guys get a
connected.
report put together for all of us by the next meeting?
But here's the problem with that, Eric. We don't want to get it ahead of our skis here on, because if we throw that out there, then that's problematic too, right, Andy? That we're thinking about TIFing in a certain area.
Somebody could buy it.
That just drives.
Right, it'd be good not to, I mean, we're gonna have to
I mean, I know we can.
introduce a plan that lists all the parcels,
Right.
but we can wait until we're actually ready to do it to make that
That's.
public document.
I guess I would wait, I'll let Andy wait in here, I would wait to have that conversation with the property owners. Not initially, on this larger TIF area, am I right in thinking that?
Well,
or
I think
not?
maybe what Eric's saying is that, like, if we need to make sure there's even potential to do residential development there, correct?
I think that, yeah, we need to talk to the property owners.
Right.
And, see if there's interested parties, because I'm also afraid, does this make sense that, we would TIF it and then someone could go in there and get control over it and then, hike up the price and speculate or something like that.
That's what I'm, what I'm,
Yeah, so I
that's
think,
what I'm referring to,
I
so
think-
that's why I think we have to be careful how we
right, so
parse this out.
we could talk to the property owners and bring in Club 720 and see if they can use our network of developers to talk through what a claim could be. And then, once we've maybe gotten an option on the property and have an interested developer, we could tip it.
That makes sense to me, yeah.
Of course, we're also looking at some infill lots too, in the rural areas.
Yeah, so how do you handle that, Andy? Like, that becomes expensive in my opinion if you have just some infill lots that aren't contiguous.
It's not worth a TIF.
Right.
I mean, you got one or two parcels together, you're not gonna generate an increment that would make it worthwhile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
there's one
You have to have,
process.
I mean, there's strength in numbers.
You need to have economies of scale.
That's what you're looking at when you're TIFing.
Right.
Otherwise, you can't pay for the infrastructure.
Right.
With rooftops.
Yeah, I mean, you got one house
Yeah.
on a vacant lot, tipping the one lot, and it's never gonna generate increment to make that whole process worth it.
Mhm. Yeah, there's some processes by which people are tipping parts of like in Michigan, they tip entire blocks of blighted homes in downtown, what's in the city of Huntington. But if there's stretches in county-owned land,
Right.
you know, you could maybe tip an entire area and then use that to help demolish blighted homes, and then you can kind of
I see what you're
parcel
saying.
it out and build. It's not like a existing
The geography
subdivision,
has to
but-
work for it, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of TIFing it is for future. The people now may not want a subdivision there, but things change. You go from, just like when we TIF Plum Tree and, you know, and the stuff around Roanoke and, you know, in Markle, you're showing, no one thought that growth was gonna be there. You just have to have that in your toolbox and be ready to go. So, you know, years ago, if we'd had a redevelopment commission and we'd had all of our county property, we all kind of figured the growth for Huntington County was gonna go north. We would probably TIF pretty much everything on the other side of the bypass if it was county property, that, you know, the city come in and annex it and just kept going further and further and further than too, so. We could have capitalized on that and helped with the infrastructure with what growth was there too, that's just me, but. And I'd love to see us TIF in some of the sewer districts, any of the subdivisions that have multiple lots available, you know, for some of the infrastructure growth there that they're lacking in.
See, that's exactly what I was gonna ask about, Todd. So if you have this subdivision, we call it ABC subdivision, okay? And there's several lots that are vacant in there, and I was gonna ask Andy about this, because they have to be, what's the word? Continuous, okay? And so, is there any wisdom to tipping that whole subdivision?
Sure.
Because of those vacant lots, and then maybe, you may have to have money to upgrade the wastewater system or the, you know, or whatever. There's areas that we're looking at, just out north of the city, and, there may be possibilities of that happening along with some other land that's, adjacent to that. And then there's a lot of possibility there for these areas that you're looking at.
I mean, just like the commercial TIF, there's a but-for test, and if there's a
Sure.
a subdivision that has a ton of vacant lots and it can't develop because there's no infrastructure money there, then but for a TIF, you couldn't further develop it, so I think you need that test.
So that's the answer to that.
So if we have a subdivision towards Roanoke that, supposedly the builder says he turned it over to the county, it wasn't turned over to the county, we don't have the proper documentation that it was. There is multiple lots there that still could be sold. We need to do what we can as a county to make sure that that roadway is, you know, is what it's supposed to be, but that would be a subdivision that maybe we should TIF, because I think they have another 10 lots to sell there. I don't know, and unfortunately, some builders come in and put the road in and off they go, and then we're stuck with it, but,
Even 10 lots is, I mean, you're not gonna generate a ton of increment with 10 lots.
Yeah.
And that's just increased property value on 10 lots.
Yeah.
But if it's 10 lots and this 50 acres next to it, say.
Okay,
then
that's a different story,
makes
sure.
sense.
Yeah, if it was like another phase of it,
Right.
yeah, then I would do the whole thing, for sure, that makes sense,
Like
yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah, yeah.
economies of scale, then you have the potential.
because of the economy, I think that's where they stopped. They didn't go further, I think they had great intentions, but let's face it, in Roanoke, Jackson Township, if you have an empty building lot, it's probably going to sell, I would guess. Just thought I'd toss that out there. If you could get back to us with a report in different areas, and we can get with the GIS guys and get a
sit down with Terry and Eric,
Cool.
kind of look at some areas, and then Andy can help us fine tune it to when we're prepared.
Gentlemen, I have to run. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Talk soon.
See ya.
Is there any public comment allowed?
I'm not the president.
Sure.
Mr. President? As a realtor, I know that my experience is when we get a quality paid person coming to Huntington, they look for where the good housing is in Huntington. And I've met with Brooks Fetters twice when he was president, I've not met with Strick, about bringing quality housing to Huntington. My question 10 years ago was, where's the new housing going to be that we resell in 10 years? And we haven't had that. So we continue to take people to Carlisle Crossing, which that first phase is kind of worn out. I mean, you don't have open concept homes, walk-in closets, and people with a good paying job want some nice amenities. And so we go to Hunter's Ridge, which is next to the trailer park and overlooking the industrial park. And then we go over to Jim's development, Indian on the Ridge on the Wabash. And so like, it's tricky to get through town. So I take consumers to those locations, respect the effort for what's being done to bring good new housing down to Warren. But when I look up at Roanoke, we worked with Roanoke on trying to get some of those. I worked with 2 different developers to try to expand Roanoke Bluffs to the back, and we had some trouble with the farmers. But then in the conversations with the city was that the city was going to be able to accommodate 100 new sewers going into their sewer system. And then upon further review, it was only the 30 or whatever it was, and so they had to scale that project back. And then by the time the consumer starts to look at Roanoke, and we have very limited supply, they end up in Southwest. And so I've just watched for my nearly 2 decades of real estate that we continue to lose. We bring in some jobs, we have people that are interested, and we lose that value proposition of housing to Southwest. And so then we tie that in with the school system and go, where's all the smart kids going? Because we're left with, you know, some kids that are struggling. And so we kind of like our curve kind of moves back a little bit. Well, I think it starts with housing, but I understand that it's all of it, right? The whole value proposition. So I've wondered what government bodies could coordinate with Roanoke, because Roanoke on their own probably doesn't have the budget to overhaul their sewer system.
They're in process. They're in process.
I can speak to that, so.
Excellent.
So that's on the table.
Yeah.
Major expansion. They have an
Triple their
option.
capacity.
They have an option to go to Fort Wayne City for this infrastructure or build their own. And so they're weighing out their options on what's gonna be the best route to take, the most economical route to keep the rates where their people can afford the rates. And so, I know they're looking for some ready money, they're looking for some money from as many different areas as they can. We've had some conversations with the commissioners, some economic development money. Nothing, written in stone, but, they have the capacity. If they hit their capacity, they're gonna have room for another couple thousand homes if they hit that mark that they wanna hit. So
1,000 or 100?
2,000.
Oh, wow, okay.
2,000.
They're gonna triple their capacity, that's the decision they made recently.
So they've had some votes on that. I mean, it's everybody likes to see it move a whole lot quicker than what it is.
Yeah,
but they're heading that direction, so.
When I talked with Brooks, obviously the conversation was infilling or annexing as the 2 options for the
Well,
city.
yeah, that's
So-
Huntington City.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when we look at the county, the greater demand is Roanoke's, and we look at tax revenue opportunities and we could develop Bumpus or Warren, and no knock to those communities, but Roanoke's a better community to Fort Wayne, and that's where the demand's gonna be, and for tax revenue, that's what makes sense to try to facilitate. So I know you guys were trying to speak with a little bit of ambiguity, and also speak to some general opportunities that may be out there, unspecified, but.
Just remember, we
Thanks.
have no control over these town councils at all. No control over them at all. We have been in contact with the town council in Roanoke about us pledging some money to help them if they go the other route and help them with the grants to get from the state. Just so you know, we have $8 million to get water to Andrews, Indiana from Huntington, and I got 2 council members that won't say yes. So tell me what we can do to help them out. We went to the State House and got things done and whatever we can, but we just trying to plan for the future. And I personally have talked to builders to say, hey, come to Huntington County, put in a subdivision. The 3 commissioners, we will help you with some infrastructure. We won't put it all in, but we'll help you with some infrastructure.
Right.
Me and Rob went to Warren to help Warren buy that property. We said we'd help buy the property, we wanted to go through Ryan Chasey and our group to do a study to put housing in there and then put it out for bid for builders to come in there and do a study to see what price it was, but there was one person there that wanted to do what they wanted to do, and they had their builder already picked, and they decided to go on with it. So hopefully it goes well. But there's a need for the housing. We will help. We've been in with Ryan Chasey and that group numerous times, and honestly, we've begged realtors to come to them groups, and a few have come, but and we've come up with some of the monies, you know, from the state, and we still have that going on for down payment assistance for people. You said Brooks wanted infill. You know, he bragged about tearing down 100 homes one year in Huntington City, and a lot of them are the properties that we're trying to get rid of now from these commissioner sales. We had multiple lots that were just sitting empty. Personally, infill lots is where it needs to go. You already have the infrastructure there, and nothing makes a subdivision or a street. If you go over on the east end and put a brand new home over there, it's a trickle down effect. You know, you won't have people buying homes over there just because they're less expensive and having the $450 a month rents or whatever it is, and I know everyone has to have something, but you got the ideas, we'll do it. Come in and put a subdivision in, come and talk to us, maybe we can help you with some infrastructure. The problem is that with the county, we don't have a sewer and water system. You know, the mayor, Richard, has worked up with us really well with the subdivisions to get sewer and water for our sewer districts. And Andy was here when we was trying to bring all the sewer districts together, and it's been a struggle. But I will tell you that the city is willing to give Andrews water at their wholesale rate is what they say, whatever that is, but we try to help, we only do so much and go from there, but.
As a realtor, I'm happy to make a sale and help somebody find what they're looking for, but as a resident, it saddens me to see that the culture that comes with some of those individuals shifting away from our community because they think that they have the opportunity to contribute, you know, on different boards, and their kids participate in the schools and obviously contribute to the tax revenue, and I know that there's a lot of money and planning that needs to go into that, but it's been a continued pattern and
I've
slow
been
bleed.
point blank told by people on different town councils, our town's big enough, we don't want it any bigger.
Sure.
It's fine where it is. Yeah. And Terry Miller was at a subdivision, which was Norwoods, and says, I don't wanna see Norwoods grow anymore, it's big enough.
Sure.
Well, what happened at Norwoods? You know, it's stale, it needs some new homes there. We've tore down 2 homes in Norwoods as commissioners with commissioner orders here too, so. Change is there, we're not gonna be Hamilton County by any means, but whether you like it or not, Jackson Township is the fastest growing township in Huntington County, and they better be prepared for it. And I think that's why you'll probably see the commissioners chip in with them on a commitment with some economic development dollars to help them out, so.
There's the Roanoke Facebook page, Roanoke Hometown.
People are livid.
They're livid because the announcement came out about tripling the, of course, it's gonna cost some extra money on the bill, but they're livid that they don't want their town to grow, and it's like, I don't understand completely that, but I mean.
If I may, like, I think it's like a $24 million project, and they're like, why do we have to raise our rates to pay for the new people to come in, which there's hard.
They forget they have to maintain the system that's already there.
Sure. I'm not arguing for that.
There's new laws that say that you just can't flush it on down Little River to Huntington.
Well, people don't like change, but I know, I lived downtown Roanoke for 8 years, and we would have to park at a rental property and walk over to our house because the water was flowing through downtown Roanoke. Sometimes change is good and it helps out.
You'll see
They got rid of that
Huntington
2-inch
County
sewer
Commissioners,
main up
the
on 8th
Huntington County
Street.
Drainage Board has teamed up with the Roanoke to help kind of alleviate that, but
Yep.
I can talk to you another hour about.
Storm
where
drain
water
would
needs to
bubble and
go
we'd
there.
watch the toilet paper come out in the streets, and you know, like, it was at capacity, and so it's good that all gets changed.
Gotcha.
Change is good. Thank you.
That was fun, thanks for bringing that up.
Any other, old business? Now that I entertain a motion
I do have
to,
a question.
sorry.
Usually what happens
Ever
is
gets stir sick to every pot I see.
And I would do it, I send it on the website, it needs to be given to council, and I think by the end of May, it's gonna have to go to their April meeting. And last year Tommy presented that, we didn't want to present on the.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the new president's job.
I just volunteered for that.
Okay, great. I'll make sure
Just cue me
everybody
up
gets a
and make
copy of
sure
it
I,
when
know
it's
what the
ready.
date is, send me an invite.
Thank you, Rob.
Anything else, folks? For the redevelopment commission?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by
Second.
Chris Long, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Opposition, motion carried. Okay, back to our commissioner meeting. We're gonna open that back up, folks. We're gonna do the, due diligence on that property.
Everybody sign this.
Rob, you don't have to, I mean, we need to do it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've done that.
I'll bring the resolution, you can approve it all at the next meeting.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, on the committee. Yep. Here, there's your vice president, there's your president.
So do we need to reconvene for a commissioner business?
We're gonna do it.
That's what we're just talking about.
We'll just do it at the next meeting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Any public have any more comments? We're not gonna reconvene our commissioner meeting because we need to address any, we just closed this one out, so unless there's an item that we wanna bring up on the agenda, we're not gonna open back up again.
Commissioner meeting you're talking about?
Yeah.
Nope, only item I have is make a motion to adjourn.
Yes.